I found you at the window again, looking out, watching the leaves falling in. And you were something like a dream. Oh, so perfect, couldn't talk to me. Time moves slow when you're all alone. When you're out on your own, and the time moves slow when you're missing a friend, and the time moves slow when you get to the end. Running away is easy, it's the leaving that's hard. Running away is easy, running away is easy, it's the living that's hard, and loving you was easy, it was you leaving that's hard. But what was I to do? Just couldn't help myself falling in love with you. What could I say? Oh, if I had another chance to make you stay. 'Cause when you ran away, I knew just what you were thinking that day. You just didn't love me like I do, like I love you. The sad thing is we're better off this way. Time moves slow, you can't hear a thing. Time moves slow when you're lost in the dream. And the time moves slow when you wait by the phone. And the time moves slow when you're all alone. To run away is easy, it's the leaving that's hard. Running away is easy, running away is easy, it's the living that's hard, and loving you was easy, it was you leaving that's hard.
Love the flow. 69. Now it's time for new, believable people, and we must do it. If we don't control insiders, this will be over and over. To lead by an any big fat love, find common ground to halt the spread of lies, and we must do it big fat love, find common ground to halt the spread of lies and any America first, America first, non-fatal. We want to build a much better, believable people, and we must do it non-fatal. Communication very much higher. America first, to lead by an any insiders fighting for insiders. Time to stop. Insiders fighting for insiders. More of insiders fighting for insiders. Time to stop. Insiders fighting for insiders. America first. Love the flow. 69. Now it's time for new, believable people, and we must do it. If we don't control insiders, this will be over and over. To lead by an any big, fat love, find common ground. To halt the spread of lies, and we must do it big, fat love, find common ground. To halt the spread of lies and any America first, America first, non-fatal. We want to build a much better, believable people, and we must do it non-fatal. Communication very much higher. America first, to lead by an any insiders fighting for insiders. Believable people, and we must do it non-fatal. Communication very much higher. America first, to lead by an any insiders fighting for insiders. Time to stop. Insiders fighting for insiders. More of insiders fighting for insiders. Time to stop. Insiders fighting for insiders. America first. Love the flow. 69. Now it's time for new, believable people, and we must do it. If we don't control insiders, this will be over and over. To lead by an any big, fat love, find common ground. To halt the spread of lies, and we must do it big, fat love, find common ground. To halt the spread of lies and any America first, America first, non-fatal. We want to build a much better, believable people.
Some saw me as a mystery. Hair always whipping round. So high up,
We are going to make
I don't
our
care.
country great again.
I don't care if I ever come down. Some saw me as a mystery, running with the crazy crowd. I'm climbing, going higher. I don't care if I ever come down.
Standing next to you, baby girl, how do I look in my do-rag? Would you tell me the truth? Stay with me and love me through the night, endlessly. I'ma keep on all my chains when I'm making love to you. Hold me close and let me squeeze you tight through the night. But baby girl, how do I look in my do-rag? Would you tell me the truth? Do you like my do it? Watch me go zoom, zoom. Baby girl,
what you want.
Flight attendants, get the cabin ready for takeoff, please.
Take what you want. Better that I change my number so you can explain. Balance in the night. Balance in the night. Price. Price. Do you have any price? Well, that one time, I'll be honest. I'll be honest. We all liars. Let it go. I'll be honest. We all liars. I'll be honest. We all liars. I'm pulled over and I got priors. Guess we going down. Guess who's going to jail? Guess who's going to jail tonight?
What's up, everybody? How you doing?
Guess who's going to jail tonight? Guess who's going to jail tonight? Gotta go post my bill tonight.
We're gonna get down tonight. Friday Nick Street. Appreciate you all being here today. Flying Trump Force One. We got a VIP on board. We're getting out of here. Flying out of Fulton County. Flying out of Atlanta, Hartsfield, Atlanta International in Georgia. Getting the heck out of Dodge.
Single life ain't so bad, but we ain't finna go there. Something tough, I'll tell you why. Guess who's going to jail tonight? With a great plan to say, yeah. I could scream and shout, let it out. I'll be honest, we all liars. I'll be honest, we all liars. I'm pulled over and I got priors. Guess we going jail. Guess who's going to jail? Guess who's going to jail tonight? Guess who's going to jail tonight?
Should be a nice flight. Not too much weather ahead. Kick back, relax. Thanks for flying Nick Street.
God in my cells, that's my celly. Made in the image of God, that's a selfie. Pray 5 times a day, so many felonies. Who gon' post my bell?
We'll be
Lord,
getting up
help
to
me.
our cruising altitude of 45,000 feet
I'm with
today
you, baby,
on
when
our
I
way
touch
to
back road.
Miami, out of Florida,
Told her stop
Palm,
all
West
of that
Palm
red
Beach
cat, we going
International.
home.
We got precious cargo
Not
on
me with all
board.
of these sins, casting stones.
We need to get him to his HQ.
This might be the return of the throne. Throne, Hova, and Jesus, like Moses and Jesus. You're not in control of my thesis. You already know what I think by think pieces. For you actually already told
Dizzying
you who think
moments.
he is. Don't try to jail my
Dizzying
thoughts and
moments
think
call for
precepts. I can't be
dizzying
controlled
movements.
with programming presets.
Out here in America.
Reset on my cell, in my cell at night. Don't have to see you to touch you. This is what Braille look like. It's on sight. If they take me to jail, call my girl, tell her send my mail. We know what hell look like. Still, it's a hell of a life. Yikes.
Guess who's going to jail tonight?
They're really trying to do it.
Guess who's going to jail tonight?
So what do you guys think? Is there any energy?
Jail tonight.
Where's the energy at?
Gotta go post my
For Trump. What do you guys think? At home. Once we get up to our cruising altitude, we'll be opening up the air phone 760-515-3855. What's your take? What's before us? Is it going to be a close one? Do people not care? Is the energy gone?
Hassan, where you at? Hassan! What you gonna do, nigga? Don't be nervous. You a rock star, be unapologetic.
If you can talk with crowds and keep your virtue, or walk with kings nor lose
Someone
the
asked me to
common
play
touch.
some Hassan.
If neither foes nor loving
We got 𝒔𝒐𝒄𝒊𝒂𝒍�g right now playing, always with the drama. I love it.
friends can hurt you, if all men count with you, but none too much. If you can fill the unforgiven minute with 60 seconds worth of distance run, yours is the earth and everything that's in it. And which is more, you'll be a man, my son. Walked out on an endless road, now I wanna save my soul. Really wanna know you, Lord, but it takes so long, my Lord. Walked out on an endless road, now I wanna save my soul. Heart turn to love from stones, heart turn to love from stones. Walked out on an endless road, now I wanna save my soul. Really wanna know you, Lord, but it takes so long, my Lord. Walked out on an endless road, now I wanna save my soul. Heart turn to love from stones, heart turn to love from stones. Wanna wake up with you on my mind. When I lay
�𝒐𝒄𝒊𝒂𝒍𝒔.
my head down.
Definitely check out his album, The New Testament. Right on, we got Hassan on. You guys see Hassan's episode? Right on. Well, what's up, everybody? This is your captain speaking, of course. The anchor, baby. How you doing? How's your Friday going? We're about to get it going here. We got some in-flight entertainment, as we always do. But, of course, we're going to talk a little bit of Trump. Well, what's there to really say? But we got to show some respect. You know, the mugshot came out and everything. You know, that's the whole thing a little bit right now. Everybody dropped merch. I saw so many people drop Trump mugshot merch. They definitely wasted no time. They probably had it all set up, waiting for the JPEG, waiting for that JPEG, that sweet JPEG that's gonna make them all. You know, I don't even mind it. Not that I care, but I'm saying that I don't think it's a bad move. I think it's very Trump. Trump would do something like this. If not Trump, then why not his supporters, and then spread the vibe, the movement, and get a little Skrilla on the side, huh? So I'm fine with it. What's this gonna say about fashion, though? When you wear a Trump shirt, since everyone's gonna have one. Wow, Nick, what's up, Anonymous? Becca, Lord Spike Protein, Revan. Test. Let me know if my mic is too. Oh, you know what it's going on here? I'm getting pops because I don't have my pop filter. But what's up, everybody? Like I said, I'm your captain speaking. We should have a nice show ahead. A whole bunch of stuff I never got to. Seeing what the news is saying, what's going on with Trump, what's the latest. But definitely some fun stuff. Really, just all the stuff I didn't get to. And it'll be the mind of the anchor, baby. Well, just stuff that I found interesting. That we never got to, right? We're trying to do somewhat serious topics throughout the week. Test. I think that's better. All right, hold on. Test. Testing 1, 2, 3. Test. That should be better. Make scowling great again. Make scowling great. Yeah, that was funny. I didn't catch I didn't expect Jesse to say, "Oh, he looks like a mad child" or something like that. And now I see this image differently. It's funny. He looking like he's offended. But okay. 2-time stream going. What's going on? Did I mess up my streams? Do I have multiple things going on? Because I do have Rumble and Twitch going on. Over there on Twitch. Gorgonzola on Twitch. American Anchor Baby on Rumble. Let me pull that all up so just in case you guys are talking over there. Oh wow!
Rumble.
I got you guys
Pull
over here
that
on
up.
Rumble. You guys rock. I didn't even mention it. You guys are there. Luminiferous, Ohio Sentinel, of course, the Hake Report. What's up, y'all? New COVID strain. Oh, that's Blue Steel. Matt, I think you guys are trying to tell me what Blue Steel was. You're talking about this face, which is like a face from a movie, huh? Zoolander, something like that. So, Nick, I'm going to grocery shopping again so everyone at Kroger's can hear you. Okay, I got you. Let's get it going then. Let's rock and roll here. Let me just welcome Birdie Bound Brian. You got yourself a super chat there. You know what that means. That's a first class super chat. You bought a first class ticket. We're flying Trump Force One today. Everyone's first class. Everyone's Trump class today. We got a VIP on board, of course. Mr. Trump, how are you? Yes, ladies and gentlemen. It's a horrible day for the country, but wait. No, okay. Won't abuse that too much. But thank you, Birdie Bound Brian, coming in strong with the super chat there. Mari Ubaldo, thank you, says, have a blessed weekend, chicos y chicas. Much love. Always appreciate, Mari. Hope you're well. Trump, you know it's going down. You know how it's going. Oh. Trump's surrender in the Georgia 2020 election subversion case. Wow. Well, we're in the cockpit right now where it should be hitting 45,000 feet any moment here. In fact, I believe we're still climbing. Let's make sure we got full power on the thrusters here. Let's get up our speed. Time to get up there. We are definitely well above the FAA 10,000. We could start going fast. It's a great day, really. Really no clouds, no weather ahead, all the way to Florida, West Palm Beach International, the closest airport to Mar-a-Lago. How do you like the Trump Force One livery? It's livery, right? I was saying livery, and someone corrected me. I made this. I made this little thing here. I built this in Blender. So I spent some time custom made. The wings are wrong. The wings came out black, and I don't know how I did that. The wings should be white, I'm pretty sure. But I got the letter, the right font. Trump Force One. Made it for the president. Here, let me see if I can show you some side-by-sides of Trump Force One. I think I did an okay job. This logo, though, on the back, on the wing, on the center wing here, on the aileron. I mean the rudder. I don't know if I really got that right. I didn't get that too right here. I kind of I really winged it by eye. Just doing some random stuff. But anyways, let's move on. Let me just show you side by side. Can you see it? Trump Force One. I don't know how I did there. It's a little bit slapped together. This back logo here. Nike should make a Trump Force Ones all orange. Gary Busey. Okay. Thanks, Renee. Nick, amazing view on the death thing from way earlier. Ego death is constant. What are you talking about? And Rommel Johnson, thanks for the super chat. Coming in strong. You guys rock. First class is all yours. Come on and sit in first. Your Trump Class 1. Sit in your seat. Unlimited drinkies and snackies from some of the best flight and loveliest flight attendants on this nation, okay? Thanks for that, Renee. Let me know what you're talking about. So new COVID strain you guys are talking about? Yeah, that's happening too. Crazy stuff. They're gonna lock us again. Looking good. Well, thanks. Trump Force One. Beautiful. So, where were we? Trump surrenders. Trump booked. You know about all this. Hold on. Okay.
He joins me now along with attorney Jeff Robbins for more. Aaron, Trump still has to be arraigned on these charges. So do you think we'll see a similar scene again soon?
We may right here at the Fulton County Courthouse in 2 weeks' time. That's when the district attorney has proposed arraignments. Unlike many jurisdictions when the booking and the arraignments happen simultaneously, Trump has yet to formally enter a plea. We can guess it's going to be not guilty, but he may have to do that on the week of September 5th. Whether that's in person, whether it's virtual, whether his appearance is waived and his attorneys do it,
it's going to be a whole legal battle.
Still has to weigh in
Please, everything
on that. But the intent by the district attorney is,
you know, it doesn't it feel like none of us really care about all that? He's like above all that, right? We can all agree, the supporters. There may be this or that law or something like that, some clerical error he may have violated. There may be this or that violation, but Trump's above all that. You know what I mean? It's kind of a game too, anyways. What was he saying in his statement too when he was getting on the plane? You know, this is almost like stuff you can't even play on YouTube, because he starts saying,
to see if
"It's my right." Like all the Democrats did it.
What the former president,
you know, the questioning of the election, and they've done it before.
It looks like he is now.
And this is how crazy this is. That this is like, I don't know if I'd play this, or at least not in its entirety.
I thought the election was a rigged election.
See, there you go, Trump already did it to me.
A stolen election, and I should have every right to do that. As you know, you have many.
I'm just reporting news, right, YouTube?
People that you've been watching over the years do the same thing, whether it's Hillary Clinton or Stacey Abrams or many others. When you have that great freedom to challenge, you have to be able to, otherwise you could have very dishonest elections. What has taken place here is a travesty of justice. We did nothing wrong. I did nothing wrong. And everybody knows it. I've never had such support. And that goes with the other ones, too. What they're doing is election interference. They're trying to interfere with an election. There's never been anything like it in our country before. This is their way of campaigning. And this is one instance, but you have 3 other instances. It's election interference. So I want to thank
mainstream news saying he was making threats. Yeah, Matt living the dream. It's such a big game, man. What do you guys? How's the energy? Yes. Oh my God, I forgot. I do have the lines open. We're in the cockpit. Hold on. Let's make sure everything's set before we move on here, because I got plenty to do here. So many things I never got to. I should really focus on getting to them. And your calls. Someone's already saying they want to call in. You can call in 760-515-3855. Wait, let me just make sure that's the number. 760-515-3855. That's the air phone. We're in the plane today. You can call in if you want to get on there. Okay. And we are basically about to hit 45,000 feet up in the air, cruising altitude today. Right on. Good stuff. Energy on 1,000. Yeah. Undeniable. Especially, yeah. Interesting. Yeah. Yeah, I'm just asking about the energy. How you feeling the energy, especially after the debates and all that? What's the energy like? I've seen these videos of people outside of Fulton County Jail or whatever yelling, yeah, free Trump. Like, it's a sizable crowd. It's not like the biggest, but, and they're all black. Oh, I know. It's like conservatives, Republicans latch on to the first moment they see a black person halfway saying, you know, support for their candidate or Republican stuff. But I think this is not one of those things. This is like black people in Georgia, and they're like, yeah, that's my 𝒏𝒊𝒄𝒌𝒔𝒕𝒓𝒄𝒊𝒂𝒍𝒔. Free my 𝒏𝒊𝒄𝒌𝒔𝒕𝒓𝒄𝒊𝒂𝒍𝒔. You know what I'm saying? So no worries, everybody in Georgia. We in fact have the president on tow. They have in fact as a decoy. They have all they have is a decoy. They haven't even noticed. We're not getting reports that they've even noticed. Right now we have the real deal on board, and we're on our way, carting him out to safe location. Once we land in West Palm Beach International, he will be quickly transported to an unknown location afterwards, where he will be at the helm of the HQ. Helm of the HQ, saving the world. Okay, so where was I? Dang, there's almost so much random stuff we need to get into today too. So let's get this out of the way. What else do I want to say about Trump? You know, the debates, yeah, and again, you can call in, tell me what you think the energy is. What do you think it's going to be a tough one? It's going to be a fight like 2024, it'll be neck to neck, you know? If you believe the reports, it's supposed to, we're practically equal, you know? The electorate, like the if you count up the voters, it's pretty much equal, Republicans, Democrat. All things like considering electorate, you know, the electoral, drawing it up, electoral college, all that stuff. Isn't it pretty much equal? Hold up. I had some info on this. But anyways, yeah, what do you think it's gonna turn out to be? It's gonna be a fight next, like it's gonna be really neck to neck. It's gonna be a landslide for Trump. People are calling Vivek based. Vivek so based.
Call from
So based, Vivek. We love Vivek. And you know what's one notion I think I sort of called this out the other day, and I'm about to get to you, caller. Appreciate it. Just hold on, I'm about to get to you. There's one notion about this whole Vivek thing, as much as I like what he's saying and all that, whatever. You say, whatever. People are saying that, I'm hearing this talk that Vivek Ramaswamy is supposed to be like Trump, but he's not going to be held back by the establishment and the evil people that want to take down Trump. But if, like, that's like a fantasy. If Vivek is for real and a real force for good, they'll go after him like they went after Trump. It's not Trump, it's the father in him. You know what I'm saying? What's up, DK? That guy. Raymond, what's up? You know what I mean? So if it's true, if Vivek has the same master, if he has the same master, then they'll go after him as well. So that's just kind of a silly notion. Let me get to this call. Oh, caller, my bad. Call me back. (760-515-3855). Flying out of Hartsfield International. All right. Let's see what else I got on this. Trump. We got our caller back here. Hey, caller, I got you on the air. Your name and where are you calling from?
Hello.
Hey, who am I speaking with?
Hey, Nick.
What's
it's
up?
Teresa.
Teresa, out of Texas. Thank you for calling. How you been?
I'm good. How are you? I haven't called in a long time.
That's true. I seen you every now and again in the chat, but it's nice to hear from you. All is well on my
I
end.
watch every day. I mean, I watch all the time. So.
Nice. Yeah, so it's happening, right? Big moments. As much as, you know, all this Trump stuff, but how's the feeling? How's the energy? How you feeling about it?
I'm just sitting back with my popcorn watching the show.
Yeah. Does it feel like the biggest thing happening to America ever?
Well, yeah, like regarding that, yeah. I mean, like constitutionally, yeah, they don't have no right to it.
Yeah, constitutionally. But you're sounding like there's a but in there somewhere.
No,
Okay.
What they're doing is wrong.
Absolutely.
And it's going to turn around and bite them in the rear end, hopefully.
Mm-hmm.
But I also have my doubts regarding that, too.
Regarding what? Oh, that's
like,
going to bite them in the butt?
Well, yeah, like, I'm just trying to take you know, like, I'm just trying to sit back and observe.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, they say the pendulum always swings back.
I see.
You know, and so, like, I don't think they understand what they're doing, like how it's going to come back and bite them in the butt.
I see what you're saying.
I mean, because...
because...
And then here's the other thing, too. It just seems like it's a circular thing, you know, like, well, okay, we're going after you. Now we're going after you. Now we're going after you. Now we're going after you.
Mm-hmm.
And
are you talking about all the people also indicted in this whole case?
Well, I mean, what I'm saying is they're going to find out that what they're doing is unlawful, but they're also doing unlawful things.
Gotcha. And that's this whole thing, right?
Right.
To cover themselves.
Distraction. It's the CYA. You know, it's like everybody's CYA, and you know, like the Republicans are doing the same thing that the Democrats did when they were in power. They went after the Republicans. Now the Republicans are going after the Democrats, but the Republicans have a little bit more to stand for, kind of, sort of.
Okay. Yeah, I just on paper it feels like definitely it's probably. I mean, it definitely is. It's the biggest thing happening to the country during a very big time. But I guess, does it feel a little jaded? It feels a little. Are we fatigued or something here? But I think it's about to wake up with all this going on. Of course, 2024.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the stance that Jesse says. I'm gonna just be like, I don't vote. Women shouldn't be getting involved with that shit.
Right on. Right on, Teresa.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know what to do. I'm just sitting back and observing. I think it's a big old show on both sides.
Totally. You think it's gonna be a close one?
Regarding
the election?
No.
Not close at all. It's gonna be It's gonna be a landslide.
Yeah, I mean, it's in Trump's numbers.
All right, Teresa.
I mean, I kind of like I'm gonna open it up to 𝒔𝒐𝒄𝒊𝒂𝒍𝒔, and I don't know if you know anything about 𝒔𝒐𝒄𝒊𝒂𝒍𝒔.
Not really. Isn't that like some kind of Jewish mysticism?
Well, yes and no. I just know that, like, since he is on the Masonic side, you know what I'm saying? And they go by a lot of numbers.
You're telling me, this is so funny. You're like, I'm going to stay out of it. I'm not, I have no business. You're just finished saying, I have no business getting involved with this. But then you go around and say, but gematria and mysticism says this.
No, I know he's going to be the next president.
What are you doing getting all involved with? What are you doing getting all involved with those spirits? But you're like, you denied the first ones, but you're okay with these.
Look how the pendulum swinging back. You just showed or told about an instance where you have all the black folks standing up there saying, "Go Trump," you know, you know, and now they're going to use his mugshot as this, you know, like big. It's good, and I even heard a couple of people say, if he goes to jail, he'll think about it if he goes to jail and is the president. From jail. You know, they have to keep him protected.
That's awesome. I don't think anything like that's ever happened. Teresa, any last thing here before we move the wheels here?
No, I just want to say hey, everybody.
For sure. Call me again. It's nice hearing from
you. And don't you wreck this plane with Trump on
No. We got precious cargo. That's right. I almost forgot about that. See, we would have landed just fine.
Landed smooth, the smoothest you've ever landed.
Now you've put it in my mind to remember to land smoothly. So now there's a schism. Now there's the possibility of not landing smoothly. When before I ever thought about it, the only option was landing smoothly.
No, I just don't want you to play around right now.
Yeah, but look what you... No, I'm playing. We're not going to be crashing. Appreciate your call, Teresa. Call me again.
Bye.
Nice. You can't call in. There was a couple people trying to get in there while I was talking to Teresa. It's only one at a time. It's all I can do. So just keep trying. You'll get through. All right. Vivek, what's up? Did Vivek go 9/11 truther on us? I heard something about this, but I haven't done my research. I just have a little link I have here. A link I saved. Vivek Ramaswamy faces scrutiny over suggesting government involvement in 9/11. Wait a second. Is this real? You're fired. Okay, I got another call here. You're on the air. Your name and where are you calling from?
Hello, Nick.
Hey, who am I speaking with?
Hey, Nick. This is Renee, man. I've
Renee,
been
how
trying
you
to call.
been? I thought that was you.
Yeah.
I haven't heard from you in a while. How you been?
I've been all right, man. I
Nice.
just wanted to. I tried calling the other day, man. You had a very good topic.
Oh, nice. You tried to call in the other day, you said?
Yeah, but I'm calling like, I'm not in LA right now, so
Yeah.
it's hard to get through.
No problem, man. Well, hope you've been
But,
well. I know you've been off doing your thing. But anyways, go ahead.
Yeah, but I'll be back soon, man. I just wanted to talk about you were talking about like you were not talking about racism. You were talking about like being like so close to what you believe in, and that like you identify that with. And I wanted to know your thoughts on like people like exploiting that through art.
Through art, you said? But help me. I want to
Yeah.
understand a little more of what you're saying here. You're saying, you're responding to something I said? Can you remind me?
Yeah, it was. Man, I can't remind you because I don't even remember.
So I was
but-
talking about race.
Yeah, you were talking about race and like almost like identity politics and shit.
And so I was
But-
like talking about not identifying with race or something. Was this week?
Right.
Gotcha. And like getting
Yeah.
over that and
Yeah.
how.
Yeah.
And I played that clip of Chado Jackson from the Uncle Tom movie, saying,
yeah,
that episode. Okay,
exactly.
I got you. Yeah, and he was saying how he was talking about black excellence.
then
And he doesn't even see himself as a black man.
Yeah, not even, dude. How can you call it black excellence when it's what makes it black? If everybody's like succeeding in that excellence.
Okay, I'm
But-
following you. So what do you want to ask me about that?
Oh, you know how just like anchor babies?
Yeah.
They're trying to make it, but they're exploiting their own culture through art and through creativity to get money.
Oh, are you talking
Isn't
about
that
like, when you say exploiting their own culture, you mean like for example, when an artist or musician, they have like some connection to a Latin heritage and they go full on in their music. It's just like Latin this, salsa that.
Yeah.
And they're like, I'm a Mexican artist, but they grew up in like, in America.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. There's probably varying degrees and levels to all that. And then
Like, it seems like
you're pretty much
a big old gimmick.
But yeah, true. It could be. I bet. It could be, but what you're getting into is one. You're getting into like mind reading, and you can't really know what people unless they tell you how they're sometimes people tell you without telling you. But the point is that you can't really know what people how they really identify with how that part of the racial culture and how they're using it in the music. Like how much are they identifying with it versus how authentic and how much they really lived it. It's all kind of a guessing game. I mean, I guess you could get into it, but it seems a little silly in my opinion because the race itself is silly. Yeah. So what's the big deal if a halfway 1% Mexican only on Saturdays makes a Spanish song because
right.
the identification with that is anyways. Now let's say that same person is all like, I'm so Mexican. Then some real Mexicans who literally lived in Mexico or grew up that way, they'll probably suss that out in no time at all. You know what I mean? And that'll be embarrassing. People can see through you, and it's kind of you look crazy, like being something you're not.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
exactly,
all those
man.
things are there. All those things are true. What do you think about that?
It's not that it's offensive or anything when it comes to the culture, but it becomes a little bit more cynical when it comes to the artist, you know?
Gotcha. So what are you seeing in, I guess, the art world that's bothering you, or you see as inauthentic?
They're kind of exploiting culture. Like, well, in my case, is the Latin culture, like you said, Mexicans, all that stuff.
And so, how does one exploit a culture?
I'm gonna say by just making money off it when they have like no involvement in it, really.
So, but I guess I'm trying to understand, how does one like exploit a culture? Like, what's a culture? Is this a because when you exploit someone, you like co-opt their work and their labor or their intellectual property, and you exploit it. But a culture is not even an entity. It's nothing.
Yeah, you're right. It's just like,
what are you
tradition,
exploiting
really.
here? Who's getting exploited? What's getting exploited?
Exactly. Yeah, because even then, what I've been experiencing is like, even themselves, they have like almost like no value. Like,
oh no! I clicked the wrong thing. Renee, call me back. Renee, call me back, sir. Call me back. What a mess. We were just about to get into it there. But I'm trying to bring it back to with Renee there about culture there, exploiting a culture, because the conversation was about trying to suss out the authenticity in another person. And I'm trying to bring it back to, well, wait, hold up. What is culture in the words you're using? Exploiting culture. How's that even possible? It sounds like maybe someone who thinks that's possible to exploit a culture might have a wrong connection to that concept of culture. And it may be worth unraveling that a little bit. Because let's say there is someone who's inauthentic in their representation of a culture, but has in some ways, or in your estimation, fooled a audience enough to get money out of it. That person really isn't exploiting a culture even then, but simply, I guess, exploiting ignorant people, which is like business all the time. You know what I mean? I got another caller here. Your name and where you calling from? Renee, sorry. Someone took the spot here. I'm sorry I hung up on you, man. Call me back and I'll try and get to you. I got another caller here. You're on the air, sir. Your name and where you calling from?
Arthur from Colorado.
Arthur, what's up, Colorado? First time caller.
I've talked to you before a couple times. You guys were filling in for Jesse one time and another, kind of off and on.
Nice.
Here and there. Just tuning in. I never seen you live around this time, so I thought I would just call in and chime in.
Yeah, so you've never caught one of these flight shows, the Extreme shows where we
No, I didn't even know you came on it actually around this time.
Yeah. I'm usually Monday through Thursday. I start at 12 for a daily show, and on Fridays and sometimes the weekend, we do a kind of a whole flight here. If you've been catching it, I'm the captain of the show, basically.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. I saw that whole thing that you created there with the Trump. I actually tuned in because I thought they were showing on the news Trump.
Nice.
I don't know.
Nice. We got the news. I should turn my webcam off so that the thumbnail looks like it's news. Yeah,
that's pretty
start
cool.
bringing in the people. Right on.
Yeah,
man. Go ahead.
I'm kind of just a little blown away by all the drama going on, and at the end of the day, I kind of still feel like all this chaos is going on, and Trump's still gonna win. I mean, it's kind of crazy that there's still talk going on during the whole debate, and Trump was still in the picture, and he wasn't even present. And the whole situation going on with the interview with Tucker, I just kind of blown away and not surprised. It seems like the guy doesn't even need to be present for him to get any type of news or acknowledgement. He could just be in prison, and we're still talking about him. It's pretty amazing.
We've been talking about him for years now. It's been been Trump since 2016. Even if it's been proxies, even if it's been this or that topic, even if it's been parents fighting in school, if it's CRT this, all these fights, all this stuff that's been happening, okay, it's been, you know what I mean?
I agree. It's pretty crazy.
A kind of an awakening consciousness, sort of, and the symptom, the byproduct of that is, well, the established order cannot survive if enough people wake up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It literally can't. So these are like death throes. These are like you know what I mean? Anyway.
Yeah, I got to say, like, I wasn't even fully. I mean, I paid attention to politics, but when I started seeing, what was going on with Trump in the beginning of this all, I mean, he's the one that got me more into politics and paying attention to what was going on, and me agreeing with what he was saying. And I mean, really, the man kind of changed my whole way of looking at politics and how I used to look at it. I mean, I agree with the guy that was on the phone just right before me on I mean, the schools used to push this whole, I am Mexican American, but I don't speak much Spanish at all. I mean, Mexicans didn't even consider me a real Mexican in school,
Oh,
so
no way. I gotcha.
Oh yeah, it was very much like that. So I was kind of like, man, my culture never really accepted me anyway. I mean, I wasn't Mexican enough to hang out with the Mexicans. So, but I very much agree on all that. It took me to be my own individual to figure all this trickery out. And I'm glad I did. And I really got to thank, you guys, Jesse, Nick, Hake, Trump. It's kind of like I kind of feel like I made a huge transition.
We're all in the same kaleidoscope, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
That initial, we're all kind of sharing what you're saying here. I'm sure many people relate to. Trump woke me up, and I'm talking about I saw God was real after watching Trump. And
wow.
Yeah, because I've said this before. I probably said this a whole bunch of times, but you probably never heard this. I didn't believe in God before, but I saw the evil against Trump. Just to be brief here.
Wow.
But I saw the evil against him, and the only way I could logically, because I was this super logical atheist guy, the only way I could logically make sense of my friends who have never cared about this man, never talked about him, never cared about politics, are suddenly hating him with a passion. I couldn't explain that other than if something possessed them. Evil. I saw evil, and then of course I was like, if there's evil, that opened up the possibility in my mind for God, and then from there it's like a foot in the door moment. It just grew and grew.
Wow, I didn't know that, Nick. That's amazing. That's amazing.
Right, and that's what I mean by we're the same kaleidoscope. Well, we're all kind of a different, what's it called? Like transmutations of the same story here.
Yeah, that's what I love about the show. Man, and sometimes I'm watching so much of you guys because it's Jesse, Hake, you, and I'm like, my gosh, I just spent like half of my day watching. But I think it's because
we go 24 hours. How's anybody gonna get work done?
Yeah, I'm like Jesus, I gotta get to work, and so wonder why I'm not doing the silent prayer over here.
Network stopping the silent prayer.
I relate so much to you guys individually too, in our own little way. And yeah, I don't want to take up too much of your time. I'm sure that other caller wants to get to you, but yeah, man, dude, you're doing great, Nick. Keep doing what you're doing, man, and I'll be tuning in.
Thank you, sir. It's a pleasure. Call me again.
Will do. Have a good night.
Take care. Awesome, man. Bringing in the energy. Right on. Call me again, Renee. Thanks for the call, Arthur. There. We going. Right on. How's the flight right now? Let's check we're in the cockpit right now. Let's check the flight plan here. We're going great. I mean, we still got a nice flight ahead. Pink skies at night. Sailor's delight. Things are getting very, very nice out. Okay. So, that's all that Trump talk. Renee brought up something there, and I forgot about it. So if you call me back, call me. Someone super chatted. It was Renee. Was it Renee? Is that you who called me? Super chatting? I believe Renee is clarifying an earlier super chat. The earlier one said, Nick, amazing view on the death thing from way earlier. Ego death is constant. And he says, from that death experience video on JLP. Nice. I almost want to drop everything and watch a little bit of that video, specifically where this guy, we were discussing this near-death experience of this guy, David Williamson, on the JLP show. Jesse saw that someone sent Jesse this video, and he liked it so much he sent it to all of us. I get a message that Sean, the producer of JLP show, wants us to discuss it. So I sit down and watch it, and I honestly didn't expect it to hear what I heard. And so it's this man who had a near-death experience and his life changed. And I almost want to go to it. We won't watch the whole thing, like this whole long interview, but we'll watch the part where he describes his story, like how he died and what he saw when he died. I think that's what we should do. We should do that, in fact, before anything else. And then we have all sorts of fun stuff, like random stuff that I got to really focus on getting to. The list is getting long. You got to enter the mind of the anchor baby here. There's this thing on this crazy story of this bank thief who ended up being a hostage. They put a neck bomb around him. Police couldn't get it off. Died that way. Incredible stuff. We have some amazing talking about Ukraine a little bit yesterday, and World War II and how it shaped our world. You might want to check out that show yesterday. I was teasing little bits of what I've heard, what I read in this book by Patrick Buchanan on the unnecessary war. And so a little bit on that we'll do. I got some interesting things. Christopher Hitchens. That's a name you guys might know. There's some connections going on here. That's kind of interesting. And some awesome footage from Afghanistan and stuff that you guys have never seen. Birdie Bound Brian, I got you still in the chat. I definitely want to show you one of these military videos. I need your take. Is this? We'll watch this later. We'll do this first on the near-death experience, but we'll do the Afghan footage. Birdie Bound Brian, I know, or anyone else who's been in the military, you guys got to watch this with me and tell me if my impression of this guy is correct, because I'm thinking this Marine effed up. Like, not brave, not a hero. So we'll do all that. Let's watch it. David Williamson, I'm so down. That's the video Renee is talking about. Let's watch his near-death experience. Like, the moment where he talks about his death and and what he saw. I think that's what we're going to do. And so I was saying on the JLP show that when I saw this, I had such a embarrassing reaction. I almost didn't want to say, because I got fearful. I got scared of my own life. He was describing the visceral pain and the heart attack, and I started feeling like a tightness. I'm like, I don't want to die, which is so embarrassing. You think about how pathetic that is. I'm hearing a man speak about something true here, and I knew it was true when I heard it. So I knew it was true, but I felt this way. But no, what about me? My life, my wretched. You know what I mean? No, I don't want to have pain. And a bunch of stuff I kind of thought it was cool. So let's watch it, shall we? We got a nice long flight ahead of us. We're kicking back. We're relaxing. Thanks for flying next stream. Okay.
these words kind of just flooded in. It hooks me into the race game.
Anybody
into
seen
hating
this, or you guys just heard us discuss it?
people who hate me. Is
center love and kindness and understanding, and I think there's
thing that and then I was out of my body. You know.
it. I was curious. We haven't checked in since we interviewed you. How's it been for you, kind of seeing the launch of the film and the
response from people who just want to reflect
he's
nothing
just
that
talking
I,
about some stuff.
And yeah, people and being a regular person. So you know,
hold on.
Yeah, they're finding me.
It's tense. It touched a few.
Okay,
and,
the story
and
in a moment here.
Polarizing, you know, kind of you definitely escalated into exposed to a lot of racially.
Maybe in a brief overview of what happened to you and what your story is about.
Sure. I guess the brief version is in my childhood I was, you know, exposed to a lot of racially polarizing, you know, kind of ideas and experiences, and it kind of coaxed me into the race game, into hating people who hate me, and it just got, for me, it escalated into almost every aspect of my life. I was able to explain in a racially polarized way. I was able to justify a racially polarized perspective of experience and reality based upon my own personal trauma and personal experiences, the history that had been presented to me, the narratives that the news seems to center, which polarizes things along racial lines. So much of my experience, even outside of the upbringing around the, you know, seeing the KKK marching and stuff like that, it just seemed to reinforce those narratives. So it was difficult for me to suspend my awareness of that narrative and to just to focus on something else, because it seemed. So I was just out of control inside of myself, and it was making my body.
Lord, I was trying to talk to you guys. Mic muted. Caller, are you on the air? Okay. Sorry.
But that was the best reaction from that video, man.
Renee, sorry. I'm glad you're on the air.
Yeah.
I had you muted.
Yeah.
Hold on. Hold your thought. Don't and you'll have to start again because I had you muted. My apologies. I was just saying earlier when my mic was muted.
My thoughts are going like a Uzi right now, man. I can't hold on to them.
Okay, so I just wanted to explain to the people that I was muted, but you know, David Williamson here, he describes having hate and then having a heart attack. I skipped a little bit. We got to the heart attack part, and I just took your call, Renee. Thanks for calling back. What were you saying?
Man, he's talking about the ego death. He's really talking about dying.
Yeah.
And the way you explained it, it was like, man, that was like the closest thing to the park I've ever heard of, you know, besides jail, you know, besides Jesse talking about like spirituality and stuff. But you really hit it there, man. It was like, well, this guy is talking about like really dying, and that's what it is, man. And I hate to like compare it to like psychedelic experience.
I thought of that too, though.
It is. Yeah.
But yeah, I thought of that too, man. And it really, I don't know. I just know this man died. I know he died. I know he really died, and I know he really saw what he saw. I know this.
It was, yeah. You really like lose hold of your body, all this material, you know, this world that we think we know. Really, it's beyond that.
Yeah, man.
And man, you really like. It was kind of like.
Really, I'm a little surprised you even saw my response that way, because I was seeing myself as like silly. I was so worried about. I had this fearful. You know, did you hear me describe my fearfulness? And I became afraid of my own life in like a petulant, like selfish way. But at the same time, it showed me the guilt response I had taught myself the very thing that put this man in pain. He describes the pain of his experience being this illusion.
But the pain is not. It's not a physical pain, man. It's the letting go of the ego, really. Sorry, man. There's a car right here.
It's no problem.
Waiting for me. But
yeah.
But yeah, you described it. I don't know if you've done that. What do they call it? DMT? Any of that? Oh, that stuff. Yeah. You don't want to do that stuff. But that's like the fastest way to experience that death.
You know,
and you know what? He was right on, man. He was.
I know
like,
this
that
man
was
died
it.
and saw what he saw, and it just kind of made me. I was describing my fearful response, but I had the weirdest response. You know, besides the fear, I almost didn't even want to say it's a little embarrassing. Well, I don't know if embarrassing, but it was odd. You know, I'm watching him when he said the moment when he said, "I saw my body and I knew I had killed myself with my thoughts." I literally grabbed my face in shock and I let out like a weird whimper / laugh.
Yeah.
And then tears came down my face.
Yeah, it's a bit embarrassing.
It sounds stupid. But.
Man, it happens, dude. At least you shared it. It's not like you're in the closet like crying and stuff.
Renee, any last thing you want to say about this video before we get into it?
Oh yeah, I just wanted to comment on the other thing. Like, it's not fair that these artists like make money off.
Oh yeah.
Off simple things like food.
Yeah.
And stuff.
But you see what I was saying about exploiting a culture? Is that even possible? It kind of reminds me of what David was saying in his testimony here about how there's an original possibility in the void, but then our nervous systems distort it. And here we are thinking that it's possible to exploit a culture.
Yeah, that's all personal.
It's like doesn't even compute.
Yeah, maybe I'm just mad because I'm not making any money.
Yeah, maybe you're jealous. You could have been the Mexican psychedelic rocker.
Right. Peace, man. Good
It's
show.
still possible. Don't say no.
That's true.
Right
All
on,
right, man.
Renee.
Good show.
Call me again, man. It's nice to hear from you.
For sure.
Okay, guys. Let's watch this. Let's not dilly-dally. We got plenty of show to get to.
Body respond in kind. It was out of control. So the heart attack occurred during one of those spikes, which coincided with a supermoon, which increases energy anyway. So I'm already on edge. Blood pressure's through the roof. Then the supermoon occurs, and my heart valve rips in that time. And 7 days later, because it didn't feel like anything happened in my heart, it felt like a muscle was ripped in my shoulder and in my back. It felt like back pain and shoulder pain. So I didn't really initially even relate it to my heart. It was no connection to my heart. I just went about my life, assuming that I was just having back and shoulder pain that was on 10, But I played football, and I mentioned I was stupid. If you're either injured or you're hurt. If you're hurt, get up and go, get back in the game. So I was trying to get back in the game, but 7 days later, I felt like a stinging in my heart, and I couldn't catch my breath. I couldn't keep my breath, and then eventually rushed to the emergency room, and I'm having a heart attack. As I get to the emergency room, I'm pretty much passing out slowly. I'm trying to breathe deeply to keep me from passing out because I'm getting dizzy. As soon as I'm on the gurney, I pass out. I roll to the side, and the last thought that I have is this is going to be some beautiful sleep. And I close my eyes, and I'm gone. And that's even before I get into the emergency room. But once we're in there, where people were pushing me on the gurney, I can still see they're organized in that way, but I don't see them. I only see dots of light. It looks like a nighttime sky, but where the people are, you see the dots of light. And then that was just for a moment, and then I was out of my body, and I was looking down at everybody, and where the dots of light were, I could see that's where people were, again, and I could see them, and they were working on me. They were defibrillating me. There was a woman in the back of the room that was holding her face with both of her hands, and that really affected me because I wanted her to know that there was nothing happening that was bad. I felt complete. I felt like I had awakened for the first time in my life. I didn't feel any pain. I didn't have any confusion. And I knew that my body was dead. I knew that my body was dead. I knew that I killed myself with my thoughts. I knew that, and the words that I told myself was, his body, his mind, and his ego is dead. You used to be there. He's dead, you know. Then I asked, well, what remains? And it was kind of like a bunch of words flooded in that were like soul, spirit, let's say soul, spirit, awareness, light, energy. And these words kind of just flooded in at the same time. And it was clear, you know, I appeared to be an orb of light. And I had no confusion. I watched them defibrillate me for a while, trying to resuscitate me for a while. And then I kind of just looked up, and then I was in blackness and space. And it appeared to be what people refer to as the void. Everything was alive. It was a very full place. It felt that the blackness was extremely black. Felt like velvet as I was moving through it. It actually felt tangible. The love, I felt love in that blackness, but I felt everything in that blackness as well. And when I came up out of that and I looked down into it, it appeared to be like a black hole, or the quote unquote void that people speak about. And when I looked into it, it had its own kind of unique behavior that was different than the other parts of space. Yeah, this area, first of all, was blacker than space, so it immediately stood out. But then when I looked at it, there was a different behavior. Like I literally was like looking at everything. Like all confusion went away when you looked at it. It was like every possibility that existed was in that void, and I still seem to have a connection to it. You know, even coming back here, it seems to be a place that I'm tethered to in some ways. It never leaves my mind. So I'm looking in space. You know, everything's beautiful. I feel like love. Everything around me feels like love. I keep looking back into the emergency room at the woman that's holding her face because I really want to do something about her feeling that way. I want her to feel differently. And I think that just because I'm looking at her, it created the possibility of me having the experience back there, because I believe that wherever your attention is, that's where you're creating an experience. So me keeping my attention on her and wanting to explain to her that everything was beautiful, it created the possibility for me having an experience back on Earth. And because she just seemed to be tethering me or holding me to Earth. And with her compassion and her love for me, it seemed to hold me there and hold my attention. So they finally resuscitated me, and the first words that I blurted out were, "Are you okay?" And I'm looking for her to just see if she's okay. But I don't even recall if she was there or not, you know, once I was resuscitated.
So yeah, he describes it more. And I just wanted you to hear that. If you haven't heard this before, David Williamson, Life After His Near-Death Experience. You can check it out. There's not much you need to say there. At least I don't. I won't say much. I think we'll move on here. I will say, I guess, about the void real quick. You know, Renee mentioned psychedelics and all that. And I mentioned this a little bit on the JLP show, but the void, being high, is the false void, is the feeling of the void, though. But it's like, it like bubbles up like energy, like when you're coming up in a high. You know, guys, people who've done psychedelics, people who smoke pot, you guys know what I'm talking about. That it rises in you, a warmth and energy, and that's what the void feels like. But the high is like a false feeling, because the void isn't really that feeling that you're feeling. But that's what the void's like. Like if the void made like if the void in its movement blew wind, being high is you feeling that wind, but it's not the void. So careful with them psychedelics, y'all. It just feels like the void, but it's not. Reaching out to the... Anyways, so I'll just leave it at that. Check it out, David Williamson. Let's do something else here, y'all. Okay, let's do something else here. What shall we do now? We're in the cockpit. Okay, how we flying? How we flying? Oh, wow. Are we that close to the runway? No way. No way we're that close. Has that much time passed already? Sinister vibes. Sinister America. Trying to put him in prison. Okay. So, let's do something fun, I guess. Let's do something different. Should we talk about Low Gang? Nah. Let's talk about the Brinks truck. In fact, let's do this whole Afghan military footage thing. I'm going to need the military people in the chat, okay? People who've gone through basic training, etc. We're going to need some experts. Call in the experts. Hey, we're all experts, right? So, we'll get to those videos here in a moment. But we're getting political. So, you know what this... You guys know about BRICS? You guys know about BRICS? BRICS. Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. Grouping of the world economies. Formed... fast-growing economies, the BRICS, this coalition of world powers. You know what I'm talking about here? Threatening the hegemony, threatening the used to be uncontested power and might of the American economy, the American dollar. BRICS is in the way as a growing threat to the global order that America has established. A global order that we talked about a little bit yesterday when talking about all the wars, the world wars, all the way to Ukraine, and just how that's all shaped kind of a lot of things around us, okay? So BRICS, it's a thing. It's happening. You know about BRICS. Hold on, I'm just trying to pull it all up here. Uh-oh. Somebody call the BRICS truck. You know what I'm saying? Somebody call the BRICS truck the boss back. Where's OBS? Is the stream still going? Hello, test. Oh, there it is. Somebody call the BRICS truck. Anybody know that song? Some rosé. Somebody call the Brinks truck. That's the actual lyrics. Brinks truck, like the money truck. King of Diamonds, Rick Ross. That's the appropriate tune for this segment. King of Diamonds, Rick Ross. Somebody call the BRICS truck the bounce back.
Somebody call the Brinks truck. The boss
we got President China's President Xi.
Somebody call the Brinks truck.
The bounce back.
Somebody call the Brinks truck.
This is President Xi arriving in South Africa for the BRICS summit. Somebody call the BRICS truck. Is it over for America?
I got the baddest bitches waiting on the nigga. I got these pussy niggas.
You liking that one, Sugar Pancake Face? Somebody call the bricks truck the bounce back. Dang, it's real. So is this? I mean, this marks a kind of a big change in the world. Okay, it's not. It's a pretty significant when you consider a couple of things. Okay. And the world has been a certain way for a long time. And the fact that it's changing and in our lifetimes, at least it looks like it might, that we're living in the midst of a changing global order. Is that fair to say? I think that might be a fair description. At least some are calling it that. Of course, what do I know? But now we know who Nick is really flying. Yeah, Xi Ping. We got Trump. We got BRICS and Trump on board on our way to West Palm Beach International to fly to Mar-a-Lago, where they will have a summit so that it could be not just BRICS, but 𝒔𝒐𝒄𝒊𝒂𝒍𝒔. And America will, the A will be, well, maybe a BRICS. America's still at the beginning. Or �𝒐𝒄𝒊𝒂𝒍𝒔. Should America take not a back seat? It's not a back seat, but just out of respect or whatever, they'll take the last letter in the BRICS being the last added. Trump, we have Xi Jinping, we have Brazil, we have them all, and we have Trump on board, on their way to Mar-a-Lago to work out United States being part of BRICS. It's all going to be together, okay? It's all going to work together. None of this fighting. No more of this. No more of this Russia, Ukraine, West versus East, Soviet era, European Civil War. None of that, okay? Why are the Christian nations fighting each other, dealing a worse, even worse, more final blow? If World War II wasn't already the final blow to the West, they might continue to the end here. Ukraine, Russia, and beyond. World War III. Okay, we got the gang on board. They will be flying to Mar-a-Lago, working out the new order that includes everyone. America's gonna play ball. Okay, they're not gonna be NATO or else at the barrel of a gun. Okay, it's gonna be a shared order and it's gonna be peaceful, right? And Christian, or is that a fantasy? I got a caller here. You're caller. You're on the air. Your name and where are you calling from?
It's Brian from North Carolina, Nick.
Brian, what's up, man? How you been?
Another day, brother. How you doing?
You know, we flying next week. I can't complain. It's got to be a good day when we're flying next week.
I'm liking the plane.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
you.
I like the vibes, baby. Blue steel.
Uh-huh.
Let's go.
Yeah, big time.
Oh man. So I think I jumped the gun a little bit though, because you're still bringing in the Brinks truck.
Oh yeah, no, we're still calling the Brinks truck. It's still backing up. We've barely even gone through this. You're calling in about that footage?
Yeah,
Sir,
yeah.
thank you for still tuning in and being patient. I asked you this a while ago. Let's get into that. I say call me back, but you're gonna want to see this.
Yeah, I'll call you back.
You're gonna want to see it.
All right, for sure.
I got another caller here, real quick before we get into this. Okay, never mind. They hung up. Okay, so we're gonna get into. So we're talking about the changing world order. We're talking about war a little bit. I talked about that a little bit yesterday. By the way, can I say this? By the way, hold up. By the way, speaking of Rick Ross and the Brinks truck, can I just put this out there? Caller, I'll get to you in a second here, but can I put this? I have a little bit of a question in my mind here. Rick Ross. I think Rick Ross is the only. I think Rick Ross might be the only person out there that's gotten away with saying in a rap song, and no, has he ever been checked on this? He literally says, "I got Noriega, the real Noriega." The real Noriega, he owed me 100 favors. You guys know hustling. Rick Ross, every day I'm hustling. He says, I know Pablo Noriega. You know, he was a close associate of Pablo Escobar, famous drug kingpin. Yeah, Rick Ross here saying, and his name is, he took the name from an actual drug dealer. Rick Ross says, I know Pablo Noriega, and he clarifies and says, no, the real Noriega, he owe me 100 favors. Has anyone ever checked him on that? Or someone's already worked this one out, huh? Hey, caller, I got you on the air. What's your name?
Zeus from Florida.
Zeus. What do you want?
What's going
what do you
on?
want to talk about, my friend? I don't
What's
want
going on,
to. Shouldn't be
Nicholas
hurrying
Zelensky?
you. Say again.
I said, what's going on, Nicholas Zelensky?
Yes, I might bear a striking resemblance.
I just wanted to talk about a little bit about Republican debates. So,
Zeus, you still gonna be around in like 15 minutes?
Yeah, I'll call back.
Call me in a sec. Let's go. Let's watch this video, then I'll open up the lines again. Okay. Let's not be ADD here. We're talking about war. Talked about Rick Ross, Brink's truck. Okay, Ukraine, this and that. Okay. I wanted to talk about a little bit about there was this amazing video. It's
Welcome to Uncommon
It's
Knowledge. I'm
Christopher
Peter
Hitchens and Victor Davis Hanson attempting to debunk Patrick Buchanan's book that I'm reading, Churchill, Hitler, and the Unnecessary War. And there's some very interesting connections here between Hitchens and some stuff here. But let's put that aside for a second here. It's kind of heady right now, and I'm not kind of feeling it right now. Let's watch this. I've had this in the back burner for a while. Some of this footage that I've watched over the years. I remember watching Funker and these military YouTube channels, and there's a couple of these videos I bet you some of you guys have seen that are just absolutely just kind of incredible little clips of footage. In Afghanistan, right? You know, they were in Afghanistan, all that stuff. That stuff that now is sort of over. But in context here, with the wars happening today and all that, it's interesting to see these clips here. What war is kind of like, at least some moments here. Let me show you some of these most viral Afghan military footage here. And there's one in particular. That everybody's saying this guy's a hero. I'm not so sure. And so it's just some old stuff, but you guys might know some of these videos. For example, this is one where this Marine survives a headshot. Tell me if you guys have seen this one. This is how legendary some of these clips are. I bet you've seen some of these. Marine survives a headshot by inches in Afghanistan.
What's up?
We're going way back. We're going to Afghanistan. Obama, Bush.
Yeah, dude. Fuck is talking. You got cover out there?
Oh, shit.
You catch that?
Hey, we got a sniper. Dude, you got shot.
I did get shot.
I saw it hit your Kevlar.
I got fucking... What the
fuck, man? Am I good? My ears are fucking...
Oh my god.
He's smiling a little.
Lucky son of a bitch. Look at that.
What the fuck?
Dude, you alright?
Yeah. My ears are ringing.
Someone check him.
My teammate just got shot in the helmet.
He's good.
He's good, but we
Yeah,
believe
tell him he's good.
covered.
You're going to want to say that.
Hey, what is that? That's the south side?
Brains currently not blown.
Roger, all stations. We got a sniper on the south side.
Well, you gotta imagine too, Afghani arms, small arms fire from Afghani forces. What was that like? I don't know. What kind of firearms did they had? AKs, right? So what? What kind of cartridges are we talking here? 5.45, 7.62, and this maybe most likely 7.62. If what I've read online as an armchair freaking warrior here, as much as I would know in my ignorance, 7.62 is a big old nasty round. That's a nice helmet.
Side of the compound with all the drugs.
Bro, dude, motherfuck, dude. That's through.
All right, let's
yeah, you didn't even hear the shot. That's true, Matt. It must have been really far away. It's a sniper.
We're gonna do something about this. Come
You
on.
don't even hear it coming in. In fact, because of, I'm sure many of you know, but you don't hear, like if someone shoots you from far enough, when you hear the pop of the gun, that's the bullet already whizzed past you. It already missed. Because it would have hit you before you heard it. You would have been like hit, and then you would hear the pop. So when you're hearing a pop and you haven't and no bullet has hit you, you're like, oh dang. That the event happened already, and I'm still here. I'm hearing the report of the firearm. Scary. I don't know. Just scary a little bit. Wow. One of my favorite videos. Check this one out. Ooh, how are we flying today? Yes, how's the plane? Beautiful, beautiful. We got plenty of time here. Okay. We got plenty of time, plenty of show. Oh, darn. That's not what I meant to do. Okay. Not that. My apologies. Hold on. So here's another one. Afghanistan. Okay. Where is it? Where is it? Oh, I also want to do the Niger ambush. This is one of my favorite videos. There's this amazing ambush in Niger. Niger?
The rules of engagement in Iraq are a joke.
Oh, can someone give me a refresher on the rules of engagement? There was some mess with Obama and the rules of engagement, right? There was something that Obama made it difficult for U.S. soldiers, and it got a lot of them killed, this whole rules of engagement thing. Maybe someone can give me a refresher.
This needs to end, and we need to bring the soldiers home.
Anyways, so the helmet video, that's one of them. Here, watch this one. This is the one I'm talking about. This is a soldier. The title of the video is U.S. Soldier Survives Taliban Machine Gun Fire During Firefight, okay? And this guy, here's the description of the video. Look, let me just set this up a little bit. Because this video, everyone is saying that this guy's a total hero. And I might be judging, okay? I might be judging because I'm an armchair warrior here thinking I'm, you know what I mean? Video gamer. I got gamer knowledge, okay? And maybe I should shut up. You weren't there. You're not a Marine. But it feels like this guy messed up. It feels like this guy effed up. And it feels like this channel and the comments are trying to cover for him a little. Can I get the military guys? Did this guy mess up? Okay, so U.S. soldier survives machine gun firefight during firefight. It starts off, he's on a hill somewhere, and he starts receiving fire, okay? And the description of the video says, no rounds penetrated his body armor, and he made it home with no permanent injuries. This happened in Afghanistan. I got hit a total of 4 times. My helmet cam died, and I made it down the mountain on my own. I was also hit in the side of my helmet, and my eye pro was shot off my face. We were doing overwatch of the village to recon and gather intel. I was heading down the face of the hill with the LT when we got hit. The rest of the squad was pinned down by machine gun fire. I didn't start the video until a few minutes into the firefight for obvious reasons. I came out into the open to draw fire so my squad could get to safety. That's the operative sentence here. The reason that he's in this video, his actions are explained. The reason he goes out into the open in the way we're about to watch is because he's trying to draw fire away from his squad. Military guys, people, let me know. Am I judging this? Like, this guy, I feel like this guy messed up big time. puckered.
Yo!
You see that? That was a round. A round just hit next to his foot. Bro, just jump slide to move faster, duh. Bro, just crouch jump and slide. You'll move faster across terrain, duh.
Shit!
Noob.
I'm hit! I'm hit! I'm hit! I'm hit! Ah! Fuck! No! Help me! I'm hit!
Jeez, I was like sweating watching this.
I'm hit! I'm hit! I'm hit! I'm hit! I'm hit! I'm hit!
I mean, it's not funny. I'm laughing at the tag. I'm not laughing at the video.
I'm hit!
I do not envy him, no. I mean, we can all agree, right? We do not envy this man at all. I mean, it can't be easy. Holy, one of the most, I've watched this video so many times over the years. Every now and then I come across it again. And I remember I can't quite remember that. I'm telling you, I saw this years ago. This video itself was posted in 2012. They posted this in 2012, so I've seen this. This was a while ago. I saw this, and if I remember now, this is a little bit of a. I'm getting a little conspiratorial minded with this one, y'all, because I could swear that I was not the only one thinking what I was thinking when I saw this. Because now when you go to the description, I mean the comments, everybody's like, amazing. Oh, like what a hero! What a hero! I'm so glad this guy made it back. Mad respect for protecting your buddies. They talk every comment, all the comments are saying they refer to description, and it is in the description he says he went out there to draw fire away from his pin squad under a machine gun. Oh oops. And so that's what the comments are saying. They're like, right on. I read the description. So much respect. You saved your team. And I'm like wondering, my conspiratorial mind, I'm like, wait a second. Part of me remembers there being negative comments. Nah, that's just me, right? That's just my conspiratorial mind, right? And so I'm scrolling down. Eventually, I start getting to some comments that are a little more, but why did he do what he did? And then in the replies, you see, look, here's the first one. All of a sudden, everyone in the comments is an elite military general, says Trilogy Mango. But I'm here looking at this comment going like, but where's everybody? Because this is implying that all the comments are trying to pretend to be experts, the way I am pretending to be an expert about this video. But the implication here doesn't make sense. All the comments I'm reading here is total respect for the military guy here. So I'm wondering here what's going on. I keep scrolling. Anyways, I'm just wondering where all those comments went. I swear people were wondering the same things I was wondering. This doesn't seem like a smart move. You don't know. You weren't there. You don't know Marine. You don't know tactics. And that's true. That may be true. But I'm not the only one asking those questions, okay? Clearly, there's some notion that people are pretending to be experts, according to this comment. If we scroll fast, if we go like scroll enough, you get some of these negative comments saying, there's some comments all the way at the bottom saying we were in his squad and this guy got us in trouble. This guy panicked, went separated from the squad, and then he got hit and then started yelling, I'm hit. And then he had to get saved. So he actually put his squad in danger. But that was an alleged comment at the bottom saying they were part of his squad. So I don't know what I'm talking about here. Do I have any military guys? Anybody know what happened here? Is this guy, I mean, glad he came back home and safe. But is there any validity to that comment that that he actually put his squad in danger and that this is a conspiracy from Funker530, this YouTube channel, trying to retcon the situation? That he actually did a good job, a heroic job? What's the actual word here? Can we get a breakdown here? Like, am I the only one thinking this? Come on. You know, this individual, this soldier, you know, veteran. He came home. They brought him home, and he ended up running for like a position a position.
I also want to give you an update
in government somewhere. I forget.
On a story that we
Private First Class Ted Daniels. So PFC, what is that? He's an army guy. He's a grunt. PFC, Private First Class, like a private. What was his name? Pyle, Private Pyle from Full Metal Jacket. Okay.
First brought to you last year, and I think
he deserves a Hollywood movie. Nick, you're canceled, bro. Dang. I guess I shouldn't be. I shouldn't dare. They're all heroes, right? Every single one of them. And so is every single cop. So is every single cop and every single cop and every single person who's ever joined the military. They're all heroes, right? I'm not saying I could have done a better job. I'm just saying there's bad soldiers, right? Or dumb soldier, or people who make mistakes. I mean, I'm not saying I'd be a good soldier.
I think you'll remember it.
I'd be a great soldier, not because of bravery, not because of military tactics or marksmanship. No, I'd be a fantastic grunt soldier, whatever, because I could sleep anywhere and you could feed me anything. That's why.
Because
not anything, but you know.
The video was nothing short of dramatic.
I'm hit!
Dramatic and real and true. A soldier in Afghanistan, his helmet cam catching the moment he went under fire. This is
Anonymous. Are you agreeing with me, or are you saying I think I'm in a video game? Are you agreeing with my hey, is it one more on my side? Armchair YouTube Internet Warriors Unite. We know everything, okay? Us Internet Warriors, we're experts. I can watch this military video, Marine video, and I know exactly what he should have done. Mena says, sure, so under fire you walk in the open down the hill. Seems like a good tactic. That sounds like a little sarcasm. Is that another person on my side? Taking sides today.
Action, the real kind. Anonymous at the time, the soldier crying out over and over to his platoon, I'm hit. He intentionally...
Yeah, any military people know what I'm talking about here? Or am I just an idiot? I don't know what I'm saying here.
Took on fire to try to draw the fire away from his mates. And now we know who he is. And also, we know that he felt embarrassed that this video went viral.
Just respond, dude.
That was a vulnerable moment for me, right there. I kind of pride myself on being a tough guy. Not once in my life have I ever cried out like that. Mm-hmm. And ever.
Why then?
I thought I was going to die.
Oh, the lines are open. The lines are open. Sorry.
Private First Class Ted Daniels, that's his name. The military had told him to keep quiet after that video went viral, but now the military is letting him talk. Daniels says that he never wanted...
What are the comments like in this video? Oh, dang! This video, there's the censors. The censors are not working in this video, this little news report. Here we got people criticizing. And here I am salivating like an evil person. Johnny Pacific says he wasn't drawing fire. He was clearly panicking and just running scared, which could have gotten him killed. So he licked out. Anyone reacting that way in a combat scenario would be embarrassed for any to see. Dang, he's getting destroyed in the comments.
Call from.
Caller, you're on the air.
Nick, it's Brian.
Brian, thank you for calling me back, man.
Hey, man.
You saw Ted
They're
Daniels?
all heroes, bro.
So
That's
if they're
so
all
funny.
heroes, then we need to include garbage men as heroes too. Every single garbage man is a hero. If garbage men stopped doing their job tomorrow, it's over for America.
Exactly.
They are the thin brown line.
No one wants to acknowledge the garbage man, though.
The thin brown line, keeping us. We're one brown line away from chaos, pure pandemonium.
It's a mess, man.
So
you know what though?
All garbage men are heroes.
Hey, I knew that private first class was gonna be fat, bro. I was watching the video and I was watching the way he was making his way down the mountain. And I'm just like, he looks like an overweight goat right now.
Well, I wouldn't.
But
go on.
I mean, it's hard to.
I know.
It's hard to say. It's hard to say like whether it's real or well, not that it's real, but whether he put himself in a bad position or not, or because we don't know. Of course, it made the news, but that don't make it true. And it is kind of fishy that you see someone mention a bunch of comments of people kind of questioning things, but then you don't see any of those comments.
Yeah, I'm went full conspiratorial on this. I swear.
Yeah, it is kind of fishy.
I'm getting Mandela affected. I'm remembering all the comments, but it's like Mandela effect. Berenstain Bears. Okay, suddenly it's all been retconned. Were my memories?
And honestly,
were my memories real or not?
No.
And then I see a little evidence. You see, it's like you see how someone can go crazy. I see a little evidence. That one comment they didn't delete.
It's not even evidence. It's just another thing to cast doubt.
Yeah, totally.
It's totally crazy, but yeah, man, it just didn't seem smart in the video for him to be. I mean, he doesn't know where the fire is coming from exactly, and he's out in the open on the side of a mountain. It's just, I mean, there's no cover or concealment. So it just doesn't make a lot of sense. But the story, the description would kind of paint that picture, but we don't know, you know?
Right. No, we have to ultimately, as much as I'm playing around here, I don't know. But my initial kind of suspicion just from watching the video, it's not that unfounded is what you're telling me.
Yeah. But the first video with the guy getting hit by the sniper, I've seen that video a lot. That dude's pretty lucky, man, because those Kevlar helmets, they're not really like all that good at taking bullets.
Right, that's what I heard. I heard they're not meant to really take on bullets like straight on. They're better at like if a bullet hits you at an angle, it might deflect it.
Right. Yeah. So.
But straight on.
Who knows? And that
But I don't know what I'm talking about.
I don't know, man. I've only heard about them breaking.
Dang. That is
when
lucky
hit,
and
but
on video in caught in 480p.
For real, bro. And like when bullets pass by you, you can hear a bullet coming, but it's only in a small amount of time to where that's all you're allowed to do is just hear it coming.
That's so
and then it's
scary.
like there's no react, like
right.
you just hear go it's like, and then boom, it's over. It's just like a quick second of whistle, and then it goes by.
That's terrifying.
Or it hits you. I've never been hit by a bullet, but
Right.
I've had bullets fly by.
Yeah, you've been in a firefight. That is so crazy.
I've never been in a firefight.
My bad. But
I've never been in a firefight. But my father, to your point. Oh yeah, for sure, 100% blessing. Because I was gonna say, you mentioned how Barack Obama kind of changed the rules of engagement and stuff like that. And my father actually would tell me stories. He actually has only told me like 2 or 3 stories. 2 of them I remember like really well, but one of them was how the rules of engagement were that you couldn't shoot at them until they shot back at you, right? You can't engage until you're being engaged. And then the other thing was you couldn't engage them if they didn't have a weapon on top of that, right? So my dad would tell me stories about how they would be on patrol and they would get like shot at by a little Mercedes with like 4 dudes in it, and they're shooting whatever, pistols, AKs, all types of stuff, and they start chasing them through the city for like 10-20 minutes, and then they finally catch up to these guys, and by the time they catch up to them and get them apprehended, they've thrown the weapons and everything out of the window. And so so he says, like, his commander comes out, he says, "That's okay, y'all won't be driving this MFR anymore," and they shoot out the dash in the car so they can't drive it anymore. But that's all they could do.
Which is crazy. These people were literally just shooting at them.
For real, man.
And you have to imagine too, close quarters combat coming into these buildings in Afghanistan, a foreign country, a whole bunch of people huddled into a room. You know what I mean? It's just danger trying to identify friend foe here. It just makes it. I heard a lot of Americans
it's just ridiculous. I think it's just. I mean, I want to say it's unfair, but then it's war, right?
Right.
And if we're dumb enough to follow these rules because of some self-righteous BS when it's war, right? It just doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense to me that we have to wait for something to happen to us before we can do something about it, but nobody else is following those rules.
Right. It's like the same limits and philosophy they want the police to operate on, forgetting that these are people with families and all that. You know, they care about their own life and safety as much as the next guy, right?
And anybody in that area is responsible for their life. Anybody that's not, actually actively in wartime. This is just my opinion. In wartime, and even in other countries when we go to war, if anybody is in that area and they know war is going down, that's on you.
Yep.
If war is going down in your area, that's pretty much like a natural disaster happening, and you need to evacuate.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be there. And if you are, then you're just going to be a casualty of war. And we shouldn't have to wait for something to happen to us before we can just blow the spot up, because we can.
Yeah, and isn't it like modern rules of engagement? They'll in advance, put out leaflets and propaganda and try to get civilians out of areas and all that.
Yeah,
and
man.
They're a failure of their own, governments and all that. Also,
for sure, it's just not fair.
Very interesting. Yeah,
but
I definitely heard about that. That I think you can attribute a whole bunch of American deaths to those rules of engagement put in place by Obama. Am I right about that?
I'm not 100% sure, but I do believe it was during that era. I don't know, who brought it up or what have you, but
interesting.
I mean, he was president, so yes.
Yeah, he was in charge.
Right.
Right on, man.
That's really all that matters. But that's all I got, man.
Thanks for your call, Brian. Always a pleasure. Call me again, man.
Right on. Take care.
Private Teddy Daniels. Sorry, Private Teddy Daniels. What the? Siri is talking to me. I was not talking to you, Siri. That's scary. Private Teddy Daniels. Thank you for your service. Okay. It's not like everyone has to be a hero, right? But we can still be thankful for the service that we didn't have to do. I didn't have to do any of that, and here I am enjoying the spoils of America as an anchor baby in America. I am thankful, Private. I can still be thankful, right? I don't have to see you as a hero. Have no heroes. Okay. On this topic, though, since we're on this military kick, on this jarhead kick right now, we're on this funker jarhead kick right now, and we're getting real Jocko Willink up in here. Let's do this. You know, there are blossoming, exploding theaters of war happening around the globe right now. You know, the biggest one right now, Ukraine, Russia, the Donbass area. That whole area has become a war zone. Well, there's other areas of conflict propping up right now. In fact, some going hot even. One of them is Niger. I've heard both. I've heard the pronunciation of both.
Niger.
Okay.
Niger.
I've heard Niger.
Niger.
Hold up. And like I said, there's what was isolated to a theater in Eastern Europe of Ukraine, Russia, with proxy, which Ukraine forces and weapons systems really being proxy America assets. Okay. What was contained there has now, in a sense, blossomed over to other theaters in the world. One is Niger, okay? U.S. readying plans to evacuate drone bases if necessary under Niger's new junta. Okay, junta, which is a military or political group that rules a country after taking it by force, okay? And Niger has always been strategic over time, especially in the Afghanistan war and all that stuff, the Middle East stuff. Okay. Hold on. And so what I'm describing here is something I've described before. And what I mean by blossoming theaters of conflict, I'm talking about the world powers. If you don't know this, the modern world, there's the world powers in the modern world, Russia, okay, America and all that, and China and all that. And as time has gone on, their spheres of influence have waned and grown in different ways, and there's been sort of conflicts here and there, which have heated up in different ways. Now to its most hot, which is the Ukraine-Russia thing. But these powers exert their sphere of influence around the world in different ways. We're talking about, for example, Taiwan. Why is Taiwan so important? Well, Taiwan and all the islands that are around Taiwan sit right outside the Chinese, the what is it, the Beijing Sea? What is this? The friggin' ocean. The East China Sea and the South China Sea, okay? And you see you see Taiwan and all these little islands. Well, guess what happens if if Taiwan and NATO and America get all buddy? They control this whole region. This is actually very significant for China. And so the battle and supremacy for Taiwan in this area has been going on. Not with guns and bombs. Not yet, at least hopefully not, but with policy and ideology and money and influence, and sometimes a lot worse. Probably meant a lot that we don't know about. And of course, Russia, right? You have Russia, you have Ukraine. And this area that they call the Donbass and Crimea and all that, Sevastopol, you see this? This is all connected to the Black Sea. This is a very strategic area for Russia to control. And there is a fight for control. And it's either the West and NATO and all that, or Russia and the East. So you see that it's really not a fight of Ukraine. It's really the East versus the West, which is really in a European civil war. Well, you might not call Russia Europe, but I think, in my opinion, are one of the original great Christian nations of the West. So other spheres of influence have opened up. They started to heat up. Another one is Georgia. Okay, Georgia. They started a whole fight over foreign influence and U.S.-backed protesters and Russia-backed politicians, and all this is going on there. Well, another sphere of influence is happening in Niger, and they're saying that Russia is responsible for this recent coup in Niger. And so you see how other theaters opening up starts to really heat up the whole stage here and further us along this march to war. Saudi Arabia, basically picking sides with the West recently. A lot of things happening here, right? So since we're on this jarhead military kick right now, I'm reminded of another video of Afghanistan in this time, and this is a different turbulent time in Niger's past during the Afghanistan years, Bush and all that. And this in particular is the story of the Niger ambush, which I've seen this video. This is another one of these videos I've seen a whole bunch, but it's just a good story. I'm a sucker for a good war story and a good political espionage. Anyways, maybe you guys find this interesting too. This was in 2017. Sorry, this is not Afghanistan and Bush and all that, but Afghanistan and all that has been happening for a long time, as you can see. 2017, Niger ambush in the village of, well, they'll explain here in this video. I find this video fascinating.
Call from
Kedrick.
Oh, I got a call. Let me get to this call quickly here. I got a caller. You're on the air. Your name and where are you calling from?
And Kedrick calling from Texas.
What's up, Kedrick? You called me before. Thanks for that. And go ahead.
Oh yeah, no, I was just listening to your commentary on potential world war possibilities and what have you.
Yes.
So yeah, there's a lot of stuff. There's the obvious things as you may have like Taiwan being overtaken by China, Ukraine, by Russia, and then you have the Middle Eastern, Northern African front of things and what have you.
Gotcha.
But one thing I've always wondered about is if you look in like World War II, for example, Russia and Germany weren't supposed to have like any conflict. They actually had a treaty at the time that I think Hitler. Yeah, Russia and Germany. And then I think it was Stalin or Hitler. I think it was Hitler that went back on the treaty because he was afraid that the Russians were going to invade first. I don't know. It was one of the two. They just went back on it. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
And it kind of makes me wonder.
I forget too.
Yeah, but the thing about China and Russia being such great allies and everything. I mean, there's currently, I think, territory that is technically Chinese that is owned by Russia within the last 100 years, like in the 1900s. That I think China still believes is like kind of theirs. And
land where again? Sorry, where again?
It's in Russia, but I think it initially belonged to China. But when China was on the downswing back in the 1900s, Russia or the Soviet Union at the time overtook it.
Gotcha. So there's some of that land dispute too, and that's between China and Russia.
And that's what I was gonna say. I could see a crazy swing of things down the line where, like everybody's like China's so tough, and it's like there could be another Russia-United States alliance somewhere down the road. These things are so tricky with how it goes. Because Soviets and United States hated each other, but they teamed up to go against Germany. And I mean, even with India, like do you keep up with like currencies like the BRICS summit or any of that kind of stuff?
I was talking about that. Yeah, I was. But when you say keep up, that makes it sound like I'm like some kind of expert. I can't say I kept up. All I did was I played Rick Ross's song. Somebody called a Brinks truck, And so that's my extent of coverage.
That's a Brinks truck, bro. That's what they bring money to the bank for.
I know, but I'm changing the lyrics here. Somebody call it a Brinks truck, and so that's my extent of knowledge here. That's your expert there, but yeah, I'm aware of BRICS and the implications.
Yeah, it's another thing. You know, it's Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, but that's another one. China and India aren't, you know, as tight as people play them out to be either. I mean, they've been debating a border territory for like the longest time. I think even like a year ago, soldiers from both countries had like a border dispute over around like, I think it's like Kashmir is the name of that like territory or part of the world. But yeah, they got a lot of stuff going on over there. So
That's actually very interesting. Thank you.
Yeah,
it's
it
not
just
as it's not as there's a lot of moving parts here. This is the world we're talking about.
Yeah, it just sucks because right now under current American leadership, maybe for like the last decade or so, probably longer than that, since like the 2000s or 90s, it's the United States, instead of people who should be natural enemies like Russia and China and India. They're big countries in the same part of the world that should probably have, you know, disputes with each other. I don't want to say we, but the United States government just messes around so much with everybody else's stuff that they're forming alliances instead of fighting each other.
That's what it's looking like to me. From a layman's position, that's what it looks like to me.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
They have natural causes. They have natural causes to not even like each other in the first place, but we're drawing them closer to each other, you know? So.
And it's totally psycho for what? What I can only
to spread gay rights.
Right. And it's just like, even that statement, it's like, well, how does that make sense? How do you make sense of that? Upon pondering it further, I still can't tell you I'm sure of it.
There's a little more to it than that too. There's also like,
but I think with a little more, it has something to do with the world order that was placed after World War II. Woodrow Wilson and his 14 points. This can never, ever happen again. That mentality. And so every further conflict is a new 1938. Putin is another Hitler.
Woodrow Wilson's crazy, man. If you look at all the stuff he did, it's he helped create the Federal Reserve and then wrote the 14 points. And
no freaking way. I was just talking about him yesterday. Now it makes sense a little bit more.
Is it Woodrow Wilson? Am I right? I might be wrong. No, check me on that one. I don't know. I may be wrong on that one.
But you were saying
1913, World War One. Yeah. I think it was all the same.
Wow.
Same time.
Yeah. Woodrow Wilson, Federal.
So he's
this friggin' guy.
He's like, let me start the bank and then start world wars.
This glizza. No way.
Yeah, dude, it's horrible.
That's crazy, man. So I'm starting to kind of sort of get a little bit of a handle on that kind of stuff, and it's starting to make sense to me a little bit more. A statement like "spread gay rights" isn't that insane when you realize that what we're talking about, what that kind of bombastic statement is referring to, is keeping in place this order in the world, that's this post-World War II order, that this can never happen again. The equity that Woodrow Wilson talked about. That's literally what's going on, and they're trying to maintain that. This is what I'm just thinking in my mind. I don't really know.
Yeah, there's people who spend their whole lives being historians on this stuff, but yeah. I've been a little less and less into politics lately. I got a new job since the last time I called you, but now I have to take the subway to go to downtown, and I started to realize gay rights and trannies and feminism and all these things, blue-haired feminists that I thought were like against me and stuff. I started to realize I've like never seen one in real life. I know they exist because I see it on the internet, but I've never seen one like in my real day-to-day life. And I was like, the real issues I have in my day-to-day life are that I actually see in public, especially on the public like subway, is usually like immigrants and homeless people, but specifically homeless black people.
Yeah, man. Yep. It's crazy. It's like a sorry state of affairs that
everybody's like the left
to get down that low, and that I guess we don't care.
It's like people are like, oh, the radical left, the Marxists, the Democrats. And it's like, well, they're not really bothering me like that. It's like,
yeah, true. Yeah, that's a good point, man. Yeah, that's true.
It's like a distraction almost. I don't know. I've just been trying to go more and more into faith and kind of get more and more out of politics. It's like I don't know, just try to deal with things on the personal level first.
That's a good point, man. I don't think you can go wrong with that strategy.
Word. Well, yeah, that's about all I had to say. I don't know.
Thanks for your call, Kendrick. Man, call me again.
All right, peace.
All right, take care. Right on, man. Nice calls today and everything. Moving the wheels. Okay. Okay. Da-da-da-da-da. Let's move the wheels here. We're in the cockpit here. Okay. Flying fine. Okay, we still got plenty of room ahead of us. Oh, are we over water right now? Why are we over water? Oh, yeah, no, we're supposed to be over water because our flight plan takes us over the ocean here. And we should be taking a never eat sour watermelons, a southwestern bank here to turn into Florida, West Palm Beach International. We got plenty of flight ahead of us, plenty of show. I got another call, in fact.
Zeus from Florida.
I got Zeus back.
To accept, press 1.
Oh,
To
hold
send
on.
a voice.
I got Zeus back. What's up, Zeus? How you doing?
What's going on, Nick?
Thanks
How
for
are
calling
you?
back. Thank you for calling back.
For sure. So, I want to talk about the Republican debates.
Oh, yes.
Did you watch them?
I did. I ended up catching up. And
Okay.
I saw I'd say a good 70% of it.
All right, cool. So I watched it also, and when I don't have cable, so I had to stream it, and I guess
Gotcha.
Fox News kind of put a don't stream our thing or whatever. We'll can't see whatever. So a lot of people didn't stream it. So I was trying to find somebody
for real?
Yeah.
Oh, good
And so
thing
I was trying
I
to
didn't
watch
stream
somebody.
it. I didn't hear that.
Well, they did. It's like copyright stuff. So they kind of said if you stream it, they might go after you. I think I heard someone say the terms they'll sue you, right?
Ooh, I'm glad I didn't do that. I thought about it.
Well, the thing is, some people still did.
Oh,
And
okay.
so I was looking for, it was few and far between. So I was looking for someone to watch it on, and the first one I looked at was Crowder, and
Gotcha.
I'm not a big fan of Crowder. And the thing about it, I was listening to it, and he's sitting there doing jokes, and I was like, I don't want to hear this guy do jokes. I'm trying to hear the debate.
Mm-hmm.
So I switched off of him, and I found this other one where they were letting them do the debates, and they were doing the little comments, but it was a liberal one, and I was like, but whatever, because they let them do the debate, and then they did their comments or
It
whatever.
was more
But
listenable.
it wasn't.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. And so I don't know. The way I see it is I'm hardcore Trump, and Trump's the man in my opinion. I'm voted if Trump's on the ticket, I'm voting for him. I voted for him in 2016, 2020. Let's go Trump. But Vivek, he says stuff that to me, and I know people don't like him, right? And I've heard people say, I don't like him because he's Hindu or whatever, or all this stuff. But the way I see it is I see parallels between Vivek and Trump to where he's saying stuff that Trump was saying 8 years ago, right?
Yeah.
And if you watch that debate, they ask a few different questions, like if Trump won, would you support him? Raise your hand. Vivek raised his hand immediately. A lot of other people waited for him, and if you look at 𝒏𝒊𝒄𝒌𝒔𝒕𝒓𝒄𝒊𝒂𝒍𝒔, he waited till he looked around, and then he raised his hand. And then another question was he was talking about pardoning Trump, right?
Did you hear Hake call Vivek a pick me for doing that?
I didn't watch today.
It's kind of like pick me a little bit, but let's be real here. As much as you might, whatever you think about his authenticity, he's right. Okay, if you're an idiot if you didn't raise your hand right away to that question.
I don't know, because you gotta. Here's another few things that I picked up. So what he called out is that those 7 other people, they're owned by the super PACs, by the people who give them money.
Yeah.
So those people are all career politicians who do what they are paid to do. Vivek is not. Similar to Trump, when he was running, he wasn't a politician. Trump's first debate was back in those days. Vivek's first debate was, I guess, yesterday, 2 days ago, whenever that debate was.
Yes.
And here's what I'm saying. I wasn't pro Vivek, but the dude's been doing so many interviews. I've happened to hear a few, and the things he says, I agree with. Am I going to vote for him? No. Again, I'm voting for Trump because Trump did this, I don't know, 5, 8 years ago, whenever he did in 2015, right? That's about 8 years ago, maybe 2014. Whenever he was doing it, Trump was doing it. And back then, I didn't support him. I was kind of head in the sand, living my life, atheist, whatever, right? but I still voted for him in 2016. But that's besides the point. And what I'm trying to get across is when Trump got elected, he started a movement. He sparked something, and that's why he's so great. He exposed everything. And who's to say that Vivek ain't like motivated by that, right?
No,
And
I think it's clear that he is, in my opinion.
But here's the thing that I got from that live stream, right? Again, liberals, and obviously, I don't agree with them. But one thing, and it was this black female, and I'm sorry, but she was stupid. And she says something, but she says something. A broken clock is right twice a day. She was right. She said he will never get the Republican vote because the evangelical Christians will never vote for him because he's not a Christian. And she's right.
You're talking about Trump or Vivek?
Vivek.
Oh, gotcha.
And even though I'm not voting for him, and it's not because of that, because Trump has earned it. That's why I'm voting for Trump. But she's right. And I've heard things on your stream. I've heard things with Jesse's stream.
Yeah.
And I on your stream, I heard someone call and they were talking about how he's Hindu, right?
Yes.
And to me, if you're not going to vote for the guy, not because of his message, but because of he's a Christian or not, you are no different than the black person who's going to vote for a politician because he's black, or a woman who's going to vote for Hillary because she's a woman. You're the same. How are you different?
Oh, because they call themselves that.
Yeah. And think about it. Bush was a so-called Christian.
Right.
Mike Pence, who's a coward, a so-called Christian.
Right.
Joe Biden,
Catholic.
and he says, but that's, I guess people say it's Christian.
Totally
and all I'm
agree,
saying
man.
is that, and all I'm saying, yeah, go ahead.
I think it's I totally agree on that point because I was saying this too, that a Christian can vote for a Hindu. You guys gotta, I don't think you can be so, I'm not saying they should, or that in this case, like for example, Vivek is the one. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying in general, just kind of take a hypothetical question in your mind for a second. Can a Christian vote for a Hindu? Yes, they can, because it's not like, the world has changed a lot from the Bible times, and nations have come and gone. It's very feasible that one day there will be a Christian in a nation that's not very Christian, and they're gonna have to vote, I guess, what's the word, strategically. And I don't mean, I'm just saying that a Christian is, I think if you're really a Christian, it would be evident to you who you should vote for. And if the person you need to vote for in that time period and certain time and place is a Hindu, you'll know that that's what you have to do. Now we're lucky that we don't have to make that hard decision here because we have a Christian, we have Trump. But you know what I'm saying? Am I making sense here?
No, you are. And here's the thing. For a while, I wasn't listening to you, right? Mm-hmm. And stuff happened in my life, and I was like, oh, I'm going to start listening because I had time. And lately I've been agreeing with you a lot. So one thing I agreed with you on is that whole Alabama boat brawl thing. The things you were saying, that I think that was the first time I streamed to you or listened to your stream in a while. Mm-hmm. And I was like, yeah, Nick's right on this, 100. And I heard you when you said that on that day when that guy called about the Hindu thing.
Oh yeah.
And I agree with you on that.
Yeah.
And the way I see it is this: it's not a battle between liberal versus conservative. It's not a battle of Christian versus non-Christian. It's not a battle of Republican versus Democrat. It is a battle of good versus evil. If you're going to sit here and say, oh, well, Vake's evil because he's not a Christian, then you are no different than a black person who's about, I'm going to vote for this guy because he's not white.
Yeah.
Or the person who, I'm going to vote for this woman because she's not a man. You're the same thing, and that's why they have gotten to the point where they've screwed this country up so bad, is because they understand that you're that simple, and they use that to manipulate you with it. So I'm not trying to insult nobody. All I'm saying is take a step back and think, right? Yeah. Observe it and don't think about the future. Like, I'm not thinking, oh, I'm going to vote for Vic. I'm not thinking about anything. All I'm thinking about is
laying down
today.
A framework in which if you were an honest person and a person who cared about the truth, you would agree with the framework you're laying down. And I think I understand what you're saying. You're that. And I'm following your framework. I think we agree here. Like, so now that we got that out of the way, right? That there exists a framework where a Hindu can do the right thing. It doesn't, even though he doesn't call himself the right thing, the Christian and all that, right? The inner versus the outer. Yeah. We're on the same page. So now that that's out of the way,
so anyway.
Huh?
I think we're on the same page.
Yeah,
as far as I understand, I think we are.
So we got that out of the way. Now on Vivek though, do you see him as that? Like, is he the Hindu that will get the Christians vote?
Here's what I see from Vivek. So again, when I first heard about him, I was like, whatever, right? And here's the thing: he's been doing. I think I heard somebody say like over 60 or 70 podcasts, and he's done it with like random people to where I'm like, oh, I've heard this guy before, and he's talking. I'm gonna listen because I've been working on projects and I have background noise, and so I'll be listening. And so think about it: what other politician, quote unquote, Nikki Haley, Pence, the Rhino, Tim Scott, that coward, fucking Mike Pence. I'm sorry, Christie. They don't do these interviews. All they do is go to these debates. They repeat the lines, America first, blah blah, or whatever they say, the politician lines to get your vote. They're not trying to talk to the people. Whereas Vivek is trying to do that, and whether he's good or bad, who knows? It's too early to tell.
Yeah, at least he's saying the right thing. I totally see what you're saying, man. It's like
at least he's trying.
It's like the rhinos. There's the Democrats who they don't even say the right thing. It's like the rhinos. At least they say the right thing. I'm not saying Vivek's a rhino, but maybe he's like the rhino equivalent of a MAGA. At least he's saying the right thing. So he's already better in my books than anybody else. You know what I mean? He's at least saying the right things. He's and isn't sounding like these rhinos. And again, I have like a barometer for a very what's it called? Very like inaccurate, very granular barometer on this because I haven't watched all the podcasts you've watched. So my measurement and barometer on this is a little more hazy. But for me, it goes like if there was like a little meter, a little barometer, the based meter. The based meter would be, pretty low for everybody else on that stage. Definitely Vivek. The base meter goes up above everybody else there, but then it's a huge chasm. Well, I wouldn't say huge chasm.
And there's Trump. No, it is.
But it
no,
is.
You're right.
But
it's a huge chasm. It's the Grand Canyon, and then it's Trump.
So that's just my
exactly.
But I'm with you, man. I see what you're saying. I don't think people,
I agree with you.
I think people are showing their judgmentalness and all that in some of this, but also, I agree with your framework. But Vivek's not that guy. I think he's kind of a greenhorn. What does that mean? That means like not tested, right? And but anyways, I like him.
No foreign,
I like him.
No foreign policy experience. And here's the thing: in 2015, 2016, Trump was the same thing. Trump had no foreign experience, right?
But you just like the guy, right? You're not entertained. Like there's nobody but Trump.
Exactly.
Like there's literally no one but Trump. Like that's just like this just for funsies. All this.
Well, here's what I'm saying.
There's no real seriousness to go on.
If you're listening to me right now and you care about America, you're going to vote Trump. Period. That's it. Trump is the man
right now, right? If
Trump
is not the nominee, I don't think I'm voting for anybody.
Well, here's the thing, and I thought about that too.
And I'm not I'm not going. Well, it's time to put our support behind Vivek, guys. He's the guy. Look, we couldn't get Trump, but you know what? Like for example, if I was on a stage and they said, would I put in my vote if Vivek was the nominee? No, I'm not raising my hand. I'm understanding everything you said, and you're right. You don't need to be judging like that just because he calls himself a Hindu. There's a reality where a Hindu could do the right thing, and there's, in my opinion, a Christian. It's all about the inner, not the outer. I think a person could have the heart of a Christian and not call themselves that. That all being true, I'm not putting I'm not going, well, Vivek's our guy. We're putting it behind him because we could get no. It's Trump or nobody else. Everything else is a farce. It's a joke. It's a LARP, and it's also you go on.
I agree. Here's the thing, though. 3 months ago, or maybe even 2 months ago, maybe a month ago, I never heard of it. And 2 months ago, it was Trump or 𝒔𝒐𝒄𝒊𝒂𝒍𒔔. Mm-hmm. And I moved to Florida 2 years ago because of 𝒔𝒐𝒄𝒊𝒂𝒍𒔔. And the way I said it 2 months ago, I was like, if it ain't Trump, I ain't voting for 𝒔𝒐𝒄𝒊𝒂𝒍𝒔. Let America perish. Because the 𝒔𝒐𝒄𝒊𝒂𝒍𝒔 is going to be the same as a liberal, as a rhino, as a Democrat. He's not the man. And here's the way I see it. When I look at that debate stage, �𝒐𝒄𝒊𝒂𝒍𝒔 was not loyal to Trump, so he's not someone worth trusting. Nikki Haley is a liar. She's not loyal. She's not worth trusting. Chris Christie's a mess. Whatever. Pence is a coward. He's not worth trusting. Right. Here's the thing, Vivek. All the podcasts he supports Trump. He even said at the debate stage, Trump was the best president of like the 21st century or the modern age, whatever. And I agree. I say the same thing. And here's what I'm saying. Trump is a man for the job 2024 because he's already been in there 4 years. He knows what to do. And what I'm saying is, Vivek, if he's to the word, he says what he says, he should at least be in that cabinet and learn from Trump. And in 2028, then run and try to do it. That's what the sanctimonious should have done, but he didn't. He wanted the money. He wanted whatever he wanted, the money, the fame, whatever. Right? He betrayed Trump, and he's not worth it. Vivek has supported Trump, and so in 2028, and obviously we're here now, forget that. But what I'm saying is he needs to learn from Trump, because Trump can only run one more term. He ain't going to be able to run after 20. So if we want America to grow strong, that's how we do it. Is getting people who are America first.
Right, and I'm following your reasoning too, man. Like, I'm following your reasoning and your strategy.
Don't get me wrong, Trump.
And I totally get that too, and I know that's not what you're saying at all. I'm following what you're putting down, man. You're describing a scenario in which your duty to the truth should go above your identification with Trump. And if it ends up being where we're living in a reality where, you know, it's either a Democrat or Vivek, I'm following what you're describing here, and your allegiance to the truth and what's right, and how that could be represented even in an unlikely person. Isn't it always the unlikely person in the Bible that God used? Couldn't it be a Hindu? I'm following you, man. But I think what you're describing ignores a central thing here, because if it's anybody but Trump on that Republican ticket, it's all interference. It's all like, if there's anyone but Trump on that ticket, they lied, is my point here. Okay, if it's Vivek on that ticket, they lied to us. They took Trump out, and they lied, because these people, as much as Vivek is saying nice things and the debates and all that, they're the little league. There's some little small fries. They're getting like
100
single percent points in the polls, if you believe polls. And then you got Trump, who's like, so my point here is, if anybody but Trump is on that ticket, then the will of the Republican people is not being followed here. It's a big farce.
I agree. And you should replace that Republican people to the American people.
Absolutely.
It is Trump 100%.
In the context of the primaries here, but yes, you're right in your statement.
Yeah. And that's the thing. What I'm saying is, here's the way I viewed they had it. They thought they had it is, we'll get the sanctimonious, and then he's our rhino, and we got this. And Vivek just threw a wrench in those little plans, because you showed that thing where Vivek may be like a 9/11 conspiracy. I watched.
Do you know anything about that? I just read a headline.
I do.
I might be everything. Our whole conversation. Let's throw it out the window. I might be a Vivek voter. No, I'm playing about that. That's a joke. I actually don't know that well. If I knew about the 9/11 stuff, I'd tell you guys. Let me do my homework.
Here's the thing. So he did an interview on CNN with that one girl that did the town hall rally with Trump, the nasty one. What's her name? Caitlin Collins.
Right.
And so she tried to label him as that, and then they played his audio, and what he said is, he said that if they did a report on 9/11, they need to fully disclose if there was federal agents on that plane. Just like if there was federal agents at January 6th, they should disclose that. And he said the government lies to us. And they said on the 9/11 Commission that Saudi Arabia was not involved, and then later they lied. They and this is facts. If you listen to the interview, he quotes it. He says they lied. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying is, like, and think about when you look at that debate. The sanctimonious was like so-called like second, right? Nobody attacked him. They all went after Vivek.
Yes.
To me, that's and the same thing they did to Trump.
He's too close to Trump. That's why.
Well, here's the thing: when
in the
Trump
people's minds, he's the Trump proxy on that stage.
Yeah, he's like a Trump. Forgive me. He's Indian Trump. And the thing about it is, nobody can beat Trump.
You might
Sorry.
be wrong.
And that's all I'm saying.
As Trump
and
as
I'm saying
Indian
is just
Trump could be.
Well, all I'm saying is that Trump is the man. Don't get me wrong. I'm loyal to that guy. I've been to 2 of his rallies, and he's one of the reasons I moved to Florida. And I was in D.C. for the 6th. I heard the man speak. I was there for that. I saw all that stuff first. I even have on my phone when he was saying go and march to the Capitol and peacefully protest. I drove 2,000 miles to see them, man.
They hate
and that's the thing. What I'm
part.
saying. They do, and that's what I'm saying is Trump is the man. Don't don't
No,
get it
I don't doubt
twisted.
that you believe that. I know you've made that quite clear. I was just commenting on your mentality of a backup, your backup plan mentality of, well, it's okay. We have Vivek. If it's not Trump, there's a way, a will, a way. There's a will, there's a
No.
way. And I'm just commenting. I know that Trump's your guy, and I don't doubt your loyalty at all. I'm just commenting on that. I think it's a little naive. I think it's a little fantastical. It's ignoring the fact that if it was anybody but Trump, they have hoodwinked us. They would have done one of the biggest and one of the latest, I guess, hoodwinks on the American people, because it would be we would be going along with this backup plan, like, it's okay, guys, when it's the whole thing from the beginning is a big farce. They kept Trump out of that ticket. In this scenario, they would have kept Trump out of that ticket out of pure corruption and lying to us. And so going along with this backup plan, I think is a bit of a fantasy. And I'm not saying you're wrong in everything you've set up to get to that.
No, I agree with you.
But I think you understanding my point here.
No, we're on the same page. And what I'm saying, Trump is the guy. The only way he's not on that ticket is if they execute step 3. If you don't know what step 3 is, I'm sorry, I can't help you. But he's already gone through step 1 and step 2. Step 3 is the final one. And if they try to do that, I mean, I don't know.
Is it what?
Yeah, and
is it what Tucker asked him about violence?
Yeah, he asked him that question. And that's the thing, is that's the only way they're going to stop him from being on that ticket, because people are, and here's the crazy thing. I went to the bar the other day, right? I got a work, and my car's overheating, so I pulled over and I had a couple of beers and ate some food, and I met this one guy. And this guy was like, I hate Trump. And I asked him, I was like, you think Joe Biden is less evil than Trump? He said, yeah. I was like, do you think Hillary Clinton is less evil than Trump? He's like, yeah. I was like, do you think Joe Biden's doing a good job right now? He's like, it's not his fault. He made excuses. And I was like, oh, okay. He's like, are you a Trumpy? And I was like, well, what's a Trumpy? I was like, I voted for the man twice.
Hell yeah.
And I don't think
you were like Ron DeSantis, sort of raising your hand. Are you a Trumpy? You're like, kind of.
Well, what I told the man is,
why didn't you put your hand up straight up to the air like Vivek?
Well, here's the thing. When you're having a conversation with the person in real life,
I wasn't there. I'm just messing with you. But you were saying
you got to execute tact and like not be like, well, what? After you're an idiot for voting for Biden. I was like, I told him, I was like, I think Biden is more evil than Trump. I think he's a real criminal. I think Hillary is more evil than Trump. That's why I voted for him.
Mm-hmm.
And I told him, if you want to believe that, dude, feel free to believe that. You can believe whatever you want. In America, you're a free citizen. Vote for Joe Biden. I, on the other hand, I'm free to believe what I want to believe, and I believe Trump is the man. And so he was cool. We had a conversation. We started talking about God, and guess what? He don't believe in God. And he was like, oh, you believe in God? I was like, yeah, I do believe in God. I told him, God's the only reason I'm still here, bro. And we had a civil conversation, a civil can have it, and we said goodbye. It was no like fighting, no, you're an idiot. It was like, and to me, it's a gauge of like, you got to understand there's like 45 to 50% of the population who thinks like this guy. And the only reason he thinks like that is because he's an NPC and he's brainwashed, and that's fine. And at the end, I believe good will win, so I'm not worried about that. But I'm going to still treat this guy with respect. I'm not going to hate him, right? Don't hate people like Jesse teaches, and I try to embody that philosophy. So when he told me that, I wasn't like, oh, I hate you or whatever. I just talked to the man. And I feel like if we're going to win, and when I say we, I don't mean Republican, I don't mean conservative, I don't mean Christian, I mean good. If we, the side of good, are going to win, we have to not have hate. And like if someone's like an idiot like that guy, don't hate him. All right, cool, man, believe what you want. Have a conversation. Let him go on his life. I'm going to go on mine, knowing that God's going to take care of stuff. You know what I mean? So why am I going to worry what that guy believes?
Fair enough. This makes a lot of sense to me.
And I will say one more thing, and I'll let you go.
Yeah, please, go ahead.
We had a good conversation. So there's this movie, and ironically, it's about a Hindu and Indian.
Oh,
but this Indian is a Hindu Christian Muslim, and essentially he gets shipwrecked, or his ship crashes, and he's on a boat with the tiger.
You're talking about Life of Pi.
And he essentially,
I've
it's
seen
all
the
about
movie and read the book. I read it in school.
Yeah, Life of Pi.
Yeah,
right?
Life of Pi.
If you watch that movie is so powerful because what he says is like he believes that, and I don't agree with this, but he believes religion is like a house, and each religion is like a room, and they all especially talk about God, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that movie is just powerful because essentially it talks about believing in God, and that's what it's all about. Like if you're a Muslim, I don't know, whatever, man. Like I don't listen to Top. Well, the thing is, like, I don't agree with Top as much because he's a Muslim, and not because he's a Muslim, just because. Oh my bad. I'm just saying, like, I don't have anything against Muslim people. I don't have anything against, like, Hindu people. I don't have anything against Christian people. I believe in God, and I believe in good. If you believe the same thing, then you're my brother because you're a son of God or a daughter of God, whatever, right? And that's it. I ain't playing these games of, oh, you're a liberal, whatever. Like, I'm gonna talk to you and judge you who you are, content of your character. And the thing about it is, like, that liberal didn't believe in God, and most don't, and that's cool.
Yeah, well,
you don't have to believe in God.
Yeah.
I believe in God, and I believe in good.
And
at the
that's
end of the day,
right.
At the end of the day, good's gonna win.
Makes sense to me. I mean, that's just an essential, sometimes an essential way of operating. But you know that I don't know if that has anything to do with that. That's just decency, right? If that has anything to do with God or anything. I mean, it probably
but most
does
people
a little.
don't have decency.
I like Life of Pi too. I read that as a kid, didn't quite understand it. Later on, I understood what the writer was trying to get at. There's probably some truth to what he was saying. I see a lot. I see there's like a line of truth connecting all things, really, when you really pay attention. Islam, all of it.
Yeah.
And
the
the
thing
ways
about it,
and the ways the different peoples kind of took reality and truth and then interpreted it, give it its own names and customs. You kind of see it all, but there is beneath it all a truth in between all of it. So I think that's
it's
what
all about God.
Life of Pi guy was trying to get at, and I think that's what you're trying to get at. Interesting stuff, Zeus.
Well, the thing is, like, in that movie, there's like two powerful moments, and one of them is when, like, it's like the storm. If you see the movie, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And he's yelling at the storm, and he's like, "What do you want from me? I've given you everything." And like, I identify with that because I feel the same way. And the thing about it, God still took care of him. All you had to do was just have know and believe God was taking care of him, and he did. And at the end of the day, I serve God, nothing else. I don't serve Republicans. I don't serve Democrats. I don't serve liberals. I don't serve conservatives. I serve God, and I serve the true God, not the fake God that these people say they serve. And like, Jesus is cool, whatever, but he's not God. Sorry, folks. And that's the thing. The reality is, there's God, and I serve him. And at the end of the day, whatever God's will is, I will agree with it. If he believes that the evil people should rule the earth, cool. I don't care. I serve God, and whatever his will is, I serve that. So whatever people, and if you're gonna hate some guy because he's a Hindu, then you don't serve the same God I serve. You serve some other God. And I wish you well.
Disagreeing is not always like you said, like you're saying right now. You're saying disagreeing is not always like you disagreed with that guy at the bar. Disagreeing is not always hate, right? So you can understand the people who don't want to vote for a Christian doesn't necessarily mean hate. But you're making a lot of sense, Zeus. Man, I do appreciate it. I got to move the wheels here. You want to say one final thing before we go?
Shout out to the GOAT, JLP. And then have a good night, Nick. It was fun.
Always a
have
pleasure,
good weekend.
Zeus. Wishing you well, man.
Yes,
Call
sir.
me again.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Later.
Young guy making it happen out there. Always a pleasure, Zeus. Where was I? Where are we? Where is we? Where is we at? Villain vibes. Wonder how Trump's feeling right now. Wonder how the president is feeling right about now. Seems like you got no friends. But then he remembers us, maybe, his supporters. And it gives him the strength to go on. Mr. President. Kind of amazing to watch this all. We should be landing in Florida. Miami. I mean in West Palm Beach International. We're again making our way. We got some flight ahead though. What shall we do now? I keep saying there's all this stuff I never got to. We got to some of it, right? What should we do now? DeSantis is a filthy papist. Has anyone read Barron Trump, the Last President? What is that, JS Urban Adventures? should we do now? We did the military stuff. Oh, man. I've been meaning to talk about this guy, Brian Johnson. He's this guy who's like biohacking himself so he can live longer and look younger. 45-year-old tech titan. Follows a militant diet, medical screening regimen. I've shown you some of his footage before. And this guy is basically trying to rejuvenate his body in all sorts of biohacking type ways.
Try to do that thing.
To break the world record in age reversal. I've shown you him a little bit. The guy who drinks his kid's blood. Yeah, this guy. I showed you him before.
Here comes the scary pictures. I started Braintree when I was 27 years old. I bootstrapped the company for the first 4 years. And we were profitable every month. And then I raised money.
Does this guy look super young to you guys? I don't know.
And we sold it for $800 million.
He's 45 years old. I mean, I guess he looks pretty good, huh?
Then I made $300 million of that.
Does he look better than his younger self, though?
34, I thought it's time to try.
Is this him at 34?
Something meaningful on that kind of multi-decade timescale.
He reversed his epigenetic age by 5.1 years and 7 months. I don't know how you can record that.
My objective with Blueprint is to demonstrate aging escape velocity using the best science, trying to do all the appropriate interventions to neutralize my aging process. 1.8, so even better than last time. So
I don't think he's, as much as I talked about him before though and said this or that about him, I mentioned too that I don't think he's this is that crazy of a concept when you consider what aging is. At least our my layman understanding of it. It can be measured in the cells via telomeres, okay? Telomeres being the ends of your genetic code. And it being a sort of protection against aging. Those telomeres get shorter as you age, degenerating your DNA, which is used to replace the cells that die. These telomeres degenerate, and then your aging starts showing. If you could stop that, the theory is, right? You see? The point is I don't think this is that crazy as a concept. Especially when you could take into consideration the David Williamson testimony we watched earlier. If you watch the whole interview, he talks about his nervous system and his spirit and how he sees it all as one now. And it all represents each other in itself. Very interesting stuff. And how in his, I guess, I'll call it prescription, although I really believe that's the wrong word here. In his self-prescription to his life and his betterment of his life, it included a physical component, a being okay with the flux of his body, but then also how the senses and body connected with his health and life and vitality and his understanding of the world. So it's all connected. So I don't think it's crazy to look at your body in that way. And
I think my first one
manipulated and hacked. But when I say that, manipulated and hacking, as it makes it sound like it's something you can figure out you do. The manipulation and the hacking might be via ways we don't understand and ways we shouldn't mess with it. Anyways, I'm kind of rambling at that point. In the weeds a little bit. We're watching Brian Johnson.
3.4.
Why are we watching him again? Mostly because I wanted to just make the joke that this guy is the real life Perfect Cell. That's really the only reason. You know who Perfect Cell is from Dragon Ball? The android who, when combined with androids 17 and 18, became his perfect form. He went from being cell to semi-perfect cell to the perfect cell, the most perfect biological creation in the world. This dude is basically Perfect Cell. That's really all the only reason I'm bringing him back up. This is the real life Perfect Cell.
made mistakes, and here's why I'm trying to fix it. It's really a stacked process of maybe 100 different things I do, because you have to think about the body in its entirety.
This guy's literally perfect cell.
How the heart ages is different than how the lungs age. Now the lungs,
of course, of course, he has to find a reason to talk about Dragon Ball Z.
age is different than how the brain ages. You have to really think about it from a holistic perspective. So it's the common things like diet and exercise, but it's also a much broader consideration. So I have a team of doctors that I work with, and we just go through this rigorous process of
yes,
measurement.
Carver. That's literally the only reason here. It's to talk about Dragon Ball Z.
Gold standard science, implementation, measurement is produced near perfect health for me. No matter how extreme I've had to be, no matter how
okay, JS Urban Adventures, I've heard of this stuff. You're talking about Beast Gohan. What the heck is all that? I'm sorry, is that too far? Nick bugging right now. What's up, Karen Williams? How you doing? Where do you broadcast from, Nick? I'm still at the Bond office. This is my desk. I broadcasted on Fridays. I do it from my desk. This is where I do my work all week. Phil Starr, thank you for the super chat, says, ever see Biden scratching his neck folds? Now check out face peelers in Peru. Is there a video I should be searching up, Phil Starr? I'll do so. Birdie Bound Brian, thank you. Coming in strong with the super chat, says, Nick is amazing. Haha, perfect sell. He knows who I'm talking about. Birdie Bound Brian knows who I'm talking about. Shout out perfect sell. Yeah. I need to get a perfect cell impression going on. Is there a perfect cell speech? Because he's spoken a different way every time he was in a different form. And in semi-perfect cell, he spoke with like a silly way.
Not exactly.
See, this is imperfect cell, his first form.
Your analogy of the
And he's like,
it's not quite accurate. When bees lose their stingers,
and then he became semi-perfect cell after he absorbed one of them. And I don't know, he's not here. And then this is him as perfect cell. When he's perfect cell, he has like a perfect voice. And now I have a perfect voice. And I'm perfect cell. And I'm perfect now. I should get my perfect cell impression going.
You Saiyans are like cockroaches.
I am now perfect. This is my perfect voice. Anyways, perfect cell. You guys, talking about Dragon Ball Z, also great segue into this. Vegeta Saiyan Pride speech to Goku. Okay. I've been bringing this up every now and then. I bring this up. And I've been trying to prove to you guys that Akira Toriyama, creator of Dragon Ball, he had a racial consciousness to things. And what I mean is, this gets ignored, but the Saiyans, the race that Goku's a part of, is being exterminated by a superior race of Frieza, okay? And Goku, who's never had any connection to Saiyans, who grew up on Earth, a Saiyan who grew up on Earth as a human, is fighting Frieza, and Vegeta, who was a Saiyan, who came to find Goku, long story, a dying Vegeta looks at Goku, he's crying, he's a dying Vegeta, and he tells Goku, you are a Saiyan. This is the race that you're part of. And this is Frieza, who destroyed your ancestors. And in that moment, Goku awakens to something, a racial conscious. Hey, anybody catching the racial undertones of Dragon Ball Z we all missed? Huh? So I've been saving this one, the Saiyan Pride speech. We didn't do this one. I've talked about Dragon Ball Z every now and then, but Vegeta and the Saiyan speech to Goku. Okay. In context, Goku doesn't know anything about Saiyans, yet this means a lot to him. His race, his identity, of course, we talked about identity a lot. and Goku demonstrates overcoming the identity. He demonstrates, in my opinion, what being a Christian is in some ways. Okay, I've talked about this before. Okay, anyways.
Kakarot, listen to me. Is that all the power you have? Where's your Saiyan pride?
But I never
Think Saiyan and then think Japanese.
was a Saiyan.
What are you talking about? You can't deny your heritage.
Vegeta, right now it doesn't matter what I am. Forget about it.
No, Goku doesn't represent Vivek Carver. What the? Goku represents, like, in this case, like, Japanese people, I guess, and their true heritage, and coming back to that, but also other stuff.
You must listen to me. We both know you have Saiyan blood running through your veins. I feel your pain. But you must never forget one thing. It was Frieza who destroyed our birthplace, the planet Vegeta. And now that you
Freedom music, that's cringe.
are the only Saiyan left, it is up to
Okay,
you
Americans,
to avenge
okay,
our
white people.
race.
The pride.
No, Bob Dillo says DBZ is all about getting angry to get power. You are so wrong. Yes, there's people who get angry to get power in the show, but those people all suffer. True strength, Migate, Ultra Instinct, all that is only achieved through stillness. You have to let go of all thoughts. Anna, what's up, Anna, in the chat is asking, where's Goku now? Anna, Goku is friends with the God of everything, the Omni King. And why? Because he's a child at heart. Like Jesus said, doesn't the Bible say, be ye like children? Look, you guys may disagree, but Goku is a Christian. I don't care what anybody tells me. Goku is a Christian, and he's racially conscious. And we all missed it. We all missed it when we were watching Dragon Ball when we were kids. There was some real racial stuff going on. Okay, we're in the cockpit. We are soon to be landing, I think. We have already started our descent. I'll get to calls here. Sorry, too much going on. We've started our descent here already. We should be landing in West Palm Beach International Airport shortly. We're definitely getting everything ready for the landing here. Going to be switching gears shortly here and focusing on that. I think I have a call. Caller, you're on the air. Your name and where are you calling from?
Oh, my God, you answered. Hi, Nick. My name is Karen Williams.
Hey, Karen, I definitely remember your call. How you been?
I'm okay. How you doing?
No complaints here. Thanks for your call.
Okay. Thank you for answering. I wanted to say something about, you was talking about the military earlier, right?
Yes.
And I wanted to tell you that when I was a teenager, I wanted to go to the military. I wanted to join just as like a computer tech or something.
Okay.
Because I'm sensitive. I don't want to go to war.
Totally.
But then, I changed my mind because I decided it wasn't good to go to war for any reason.
Mm-hmm.
And then I fell. I went into the fallen state, what Jesse keeps talking about, and totally messed up my life. I wish I would have went into the military.
Yeah. So you wish you went?
Say that again, please.
You said you messed up your life for not going?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Just describe what you mean.
Well, I fell, the fallen state.
Right.
That's when I started to fall. I was 16 years old, and I'm like, okay, I have one more year of school, and then what I'm gonna do? And I was all into this military stuff. I'm like, okay, I'm going to the Marines because they look good.
Gotcha.
And they, that's militia, right? That's that, That's,
So you wanted the military to, when you thought about the military back then, you thought that it could.
It was for a good cause.
It could change you, like make you better. Because I know
No, not at all.
Okay, because I know a lot of guys early on, like when they're young, they saw themselves a certain way and they didn't like it, and they thought the military could change them and mold them into what they wanted to be. I'm
No,
wondering
I
if you
never
didn't have that
believed
mentality with the military.
No, when I wanted to go in there at 14, 15, 16, 17 years old, I wanted to go in to be a part of I thought it was a good cause. I thought it was protecting and serving my country and keeping it, the United States, America, where I was born and I'm raised there. I'm going to suffer and die in. And it was at those ages and that stage, and the people that I had around me were some military people, and they were good, decent people that made me believe
with the whole
that,
thing. You saw it was a good cause, and you just wanted to be part of it, support it, and do your part.
For protection for the whole country, not just for myself or family or close ones. I saw a bigger picture than, I was always the kind of student in every class, I don't believe you, close that book. I got something else in mind. Something else is inside of me telling me what you're telling me is wrong, and I want to be a part of what is good and what can correct the wrong. So the people that I had in my life, they were great people, and they just taught me, hey, it's a deeper cause. It's not just somebody fighting over money or territory. It is
so you saw it as a good thing.
Yes.
Ultimately, though, and you ultimately didn't go, huh?
I did not go. I fell.
And so you're saying that was the cause of your fall?
At 16 years old. Say that again?
That was the cause of your fall, you're saying?
That wasn't the cause of my falling. My falling was the cause of me not staying on my path.
Gotcha. And you think you saying not going to the military was kind of an outset
part of my path.
A catalyst to that.
Part of my path.
Right.
Yes.
It was right. It happened due to the path you were on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So
you're saying if you had gone to the military, would you have avoided? Are you saying that if you had gone to the military, you would have avoided the fall?
No. I was going to go into a deeper fall. I was going to become masculine. I wasn't going to be feminine anymore. I wasn't going to be as a woman anymore, or as a girl or a female. I see those kind of positions. I had to realize that those kind of positions are for masculine men when going to war. So when I wanted to go, I learned about computers. I wanted to go be a computer tech and, be in the vaccines or whatever. And, hey, look out for this. I see you over here just on the computer, or maybe even nursing, healing the wound. But I decided I couldn't do that either.
So you don't look at that. You don't look at that that time and not going to the military with a regret or a longing.
A little bit of a regret, because the way my position in life right now, if I would have stayed on that path, my life would have been better now. It wouldn't be. It wouldn't. It would have been better in a way where, in a sense, that I wouldn't have suffered the things that I've suffered. Spiritually, especially, if I would have stayed on that path, I would have suffered other things, but those things would have made me strong enough to bypass and to avoid the suffering that I ended up going through, because I didn't take that path.
I thank you for your call. It's somewhat interesting, people's lives. I find a little bit of a disconnect in what you're telling me. Because you're saying at the same time, you saw how you were about to go through a deeper fall should you have stayed in the military due to its masculine effect on you or influence on you, yet you regret not going because you went through stuff in your life you could have avoided should you have gone to the military.
Yeah, let me tell you this way. I had the darkness on the left side of me. Just complete darkness. I can't see through it, but I know it's a long way to go, right? Probably it would never end. On the right side of me, I have a full lighted garden. It's lit, it's bright, sun shining, full of flowers, roses. I'm going to take that path. I feel, that's beautiful. I will have peace in that. I would be better in that. And then I turned around and realized I should have took the dark path. I shouldn't have been afraid of that dark path. I should have went through that dark path. That dark path would have made me stronger, way stronger than what I am today.
And how do you know that?
Because I'm, heaven told me. Heaven, it's in my heart. I just know it. Heaven is saying, hey, look back on your life. Don't have any regrets. Don't live in the past, but learn from your mistakes.
So heaven's telling you not to have regrets and to learn from your mistakes.
And to learn from your mistakes, learn from my mistakes.
Right.
Don't have any regrets, but know that
So that's what heaven's telling
it could have been a different way.
So why don't you listen to heaven telling you not to have any regrets?
I don't have any regrets.
Oh, okay. I thought you were telling me you did. My bad.
No. It's just
It's
it's
good
a
to hear.
thought. It's the realness of. I know if I would have took that dark path, I would have been stronger. But I would have been more stronger in a masculine way that one had allowed me to be.
And you desire that masculine strength, from what the
No.
sounds of it. Oh, okay.
No.
Let me ask you this.
And at that time I did. And then I realized that the females and the women that I had influencing me to go that route, they were so masculine.
Gotcha.
And I was like, I started to think to myself, no, I have pretty nails. I have pretty hair.
Yeah, exactly.
And I can't go into war like that. So, yeah.
I can't go to war like this. Look at me.
Yeah.
Right on.
I want to keep my pretty hair, my pretty nails. I don't want to be blown up, you know.
We don't need the
have
ladies
one
going
leg.
out there, like doing all that. That's
right.
Like,
that's a man's thing.
And so, let me ask you this, because you're saying if only you shoulda, coulda, woulda did this or that. If only I took this path or that decision. It sounds like a little bit like regret, but okay. Let me ask you this. Like, you're saying you should have done this or that decision. How do you know you could have? How do you know you were even? How do you know that back then when that decision was made, that you even had the ability to make a different decision?
If I had the ability then to make a different
How do you know
decision,
you even had that?
I probably wouldn't have made it through that darkness. I probably would have died in the middle of it. But I would have died strong in the middle of the darkness if I kept my spirit. The spirit that I feel I have now, if I would have went through that darkness, had this spirit, and it would have been stronger. I know that it would have been stronger because I have the love of heaven.
Mm-hmm. And so I have two questions. You're making me think of two things. One, again, how do you know you could have made a different decision? How do you know, like, you weren't, if I were to put you back in that position again, you wouldn't just make the same decision a million times? How do you know you wouldn't have made the same decision? What I'm saying is, how do you know, like, you're saying if I should have done this different decision, well, why didn't you? Well, maybe because you couldn't.
No, I could have, but I fell. So then I couldn't. That's why I want to go ahead and say something Jesse always points out. You don't have, your will is not your own. Your brain is not your own, especially when you conform to the ways of the world. And that's what I ended up doing. I ended up leaving or letting my natural spiritual being leave me. That made me fall. And if I wouldn't had allowed that then, I know I would have made the right decision.
But I think that's what I'm trying to get at. It doesn't, that idea in your mind of, if I made the right decision, makes it sound like you made the wrong decision. But that I'm trying to, I guess, demonstrate that whole premise is a folly. That whole starting point sounds a little silly to even tell yourself, well, because I didn't do that choice, which in my mind is the right choice, I am now living the wrong choice. But that whole thing is a setup. There is no parallel choice in universe where you coulda, shoulda, woulda. This is life you're living right now. There is no going back.
And I accept that life that I'm living right now.
And you're not living the wrong decision. You're just living
And
your life.
what I'm saying is, I shouldn't have been afraid to be in the darkness and to fight through that darkness, especially spiritually.
Yeah,
I shouldn't have been. I wasn't then. I wasn't afraid. I'm sorry for kicking him out, but I wasn't afraid to go. I wasn't afraid to go down a dark path until I started to conform to the world and the things and other people, bad influence and all things and people that was around me in my environment that made me fall. So as I started to fall, my natural spirit being was like, you're afraid of that darkness. Don't go down there. It's going to make you weak and kill you. Take that lidded path. Take that easy way. Take the one that take the way. It's going to make you this. It's going to, and I believed that as I fell and conformed to what my outside environment was giving me.
Totally. On this, a nice segue to my second question. You're talking about weakness. You're describing yourself as, you could have gone through it and been stronger now. What is it about yourself that you see today that you wish could have been stronger then? Because you're saying that you would be stronger if you have gone through this or that path. So what is it about you today that you see as, I guess, not strong that could have been stronger the way you're describing?
Love.
Love. Okay. What do you mean?
I have love. I'm not strong in it. But I know I have it. I would have been strong in love. Love is it being natural in spirit. Love is a gift from God. It's a strength. It's His nature. It's a gift.
And how do you become? And how are you weak in that today?
I'm weak in that because I'm still conformed to the world in ways and bits of where it's not easy to let those things go. The thoughts.
Do you have an example, if you don't mind, unless it's too personal?
The thoughts, and no, nothing is too personal. Just I'm living just a simple life, and it's not easy for me or anyone else. But it's just there's things that I don't thoughts.
Okay.
I don't want to let go of. It's like if I can't replace that thought with something material, then life is meaningless. I have to find a way to say, hey, that thought is meaningless. What can I replace it with? Hopefully, not something materialistic.
Have you tried not replacing it with anything?
No. Yeah, I have, but I fail.
Okay.
I fail.
I understand.
It's hard. I'm out here. I'm gonna be truthful. I'm out here alone. I'm on my own. I'm a grown woman. I thank God I have what I have.
Because there's no such thing as replacing a thought.
Yes.
There's no such thing as that.
I believe you can replace a thought. I don't dwell on thoughts. When I sit there, I'm sitting alone and I'm like, oh my goodness, I miss this person or I miss that person. I can replace that thought with, oh my goodness, let me go help that person. Let me go help this person.
So the original thought that came to you.
Yeah.
Okay, so you had the original thought telling you, what was it? Like fear?
At first, in the beginning.
And then you replace it with a good thought of, okay, let me go help this person.
Yeah, let me not think into myself. Let me not just.
So how did you get the original thought, though?
It came from the fallen state. It's a spirit. It's an evil thing.
And through the same faculty, you replaced it?
I replace it. It's called maintain control.
Okay, so follow me here. You can't explain where the original thought came, but you are telling me that you then replaced that original thought that brought you negative stuff with positive stuff. And so you replaced the thought. So how come?
Yes, I only get to replace that.
Why can't you just continuously forever replace your mind with only good stuff?
Because I don't have free will. My will is not my own. My mind is not my own.
Could it be
my heart is, though?
Could it possibly be, if that's true, that your mind is not your own, like you said, if you're following me here, if that's true, like you're saying, could it be that not only were you not in control of the original thought, you also were not in control of the thought that replaced it. You only thought
Not
that
at
you
all.
replaced
It comes from.
So you're
two
sure
different
that you're
places.
replacing that thought?
I understand that there is evil inside of me, and
Mm-hmm.
I understand that there is good inside of me. I'm half heaven, half hell, and I believe we all are. When hell
follow
is
me
trying
here.
to take over, I am willing and obedience enough to heaven to allow my angel or whatever you want to call it part of me, and we all have it, male, female, foreign, rich, poor. We all have it. When that evil is coming out, I
But
realize that.
Let's
now.
not get lost here. I don't want to get lost here, and I agree with what you're saying. I don't want to get lost with where we were here. Where we were, you're saying that you get thoughts that you can't control, but you replace them with good stuff, but you can't. I'm just saying. Look, I'll just get to it. It just sounds like I'm just saying. I think it's possible that you're not even doing the replacing of the thoughts. I think that you may be telling yourself that you're replacing the bad thoughts with good thoughts, but I don't think you're doing that either. You're not doing that. You can't replace a thought. That's not. I don't think that's possible.
You're right.
I don't think
Let me
that's possible.
rephrase it as what I was just trying to get to. Hell comes into my mind.
Mm-hmm.
It's evil. It's nasty. It's freaky. It's this. It's that.
Mm-hmm.
It's even towards myself, other people, other things. And then there's heaven that comes in and say, you know better than that. You know better than that. Excuse me, but can you correct that? And there's no free will.
But why would heaven come in and tell you? Why would heaven come in and blame you for
why
that?
Wouldn't it? It's not a blame.
But why would heaven come into your mind and try and tell you, you know better than that? Why are you being bad?
It's not mind.
Be better.
It's spirit.
But you see what I'm saying here? Why would
spirit.
heaven come into your mind and try and tell you? Because what you're saying here is if heaven is telling you, you know better than that, why would heaven be accusing you in such a way? You know better than that. Be better. You should already know that. You shouldn't be thinking like that. You should be better.
Evil, you
I don't think
shall
heaven would
be
accuse you in such a way.
Evil shall be corrected. I don't care who you are, what you're thinking.
I know, but you're not. I don't think that's correcting evil.
What you have,
I think that's just another evil thought. You should just let it pass.
No, that's not an evil thought. That's not an evil thought.
Yeah, because your thoughts are telling you first. Your thoughts are hold on. First, your thoughts told you.
You have to be in spirit, young man.
But hold on. But first, I'm following what you're telling me, and you told me your thoughts gave you all this horrible stuff about a person, but then you told me that you could that heaven comes and replaces it with I should go help that person. That's not a thought from heaven.
Listen, they're not just rephrasing. You're not listening. That's another thing men do. You don't listen. You're not listening correctly. You're just trying to understand in your way with the words you're hearing and hearing my words in your way, and you're not listening to what I'm saying to you.
No, I'm totally listening to you. I'm using your words. Help me.
You're
tell
not.
me where I'm wrong.
Because you're going off on something to what you're thinking and not what I'm telling you.
Well, tell me where I've misunderstood.
I can't. I see. My name is Karen, K-A-R-E-N, and I am black. I done told you what I told you, and you failed to understand it because you went into your own understanding.
Okay, well, help
and
me
now
understand
you're trying to place something on me that is not really happening.
Okay, well, tell me where I misunderstood.
You're misunderstanding everything I say.
Oh. But why'd your energy change, Karen? Is this the heaven inside of you? Is this the heaven inside of you causing you to
I told you. I just said that in every last... I just told you, Mr. Nicholas, there is heaven and hell in every last one of us. If you can recognize the hell that's inside of you, heaven will come and help you correct that hell.
Okay.
That's in every last one of us.
And what?
That's what that's what I said. That's probably where you misunderstand. You're thinking.
Well, why would heaven come in and say,
"Heart"? You're not.
Tell me
where.
Well, I'm simply trying to have a conversation with you, and so I'm saying, why would heaven? My question was, why would heaven act in that way? And I wanted to hear what you, but you're just telling me that I'm misunderstanding you.
Doesn't hell act?
My question simply was, why would heaven, if heaven is correcting you, But you're telling me heaven, when you hear from heaven, heaven is telling you you should know better. That doesn't sound like heaven to me, is all I'm saying. You may disagree. You may tell me I'm misunderstanding something here. Well, then tell me where I'm misunderstanding you, because to me that doesn't sound like heaven.
If you have a bad thought or a bad feeling and want to do a bad action or a bad thing, you know that is wrong.
But if you knew better, why don't you do better?
That's not it. That's not how it goes. That's not how it works.
I agree. I totally agree. That is not how it works, because we are not in control.
That is how it works. We're not in control. I just said that.
I know. I'm with you.
Saying that. Your will and your mind is not your own.
But if heaven is telling you,
you are in a falling state.
But hold on, Karen, just calm down. If this is the heaven you're talking about, it doesn't sound like it's working on you, because you're trying to talk over me.
It's definitely working on me.
So just hold on.
I don't think it's working on a lot of other people, but it's working.
I agree. If heaven is supposed to, we're talking about heaven here, and you're saying you agree with me that we're not in control. So if you're not in control, why would heaven be talking to you as if you're in control? Because
I never said heaven.
Wait, hold on. Let me finish.
I say heaven?
Hold on, Karen. Let me finish the
correct.
statement. If heaven is going to talk to me and try and correct me, okay, let's put heaven out of the equation here. Let's say it's me and my friend, and I see my friend doing something wrong, and I go up to my friend to correct them, and we both believe we're not in control. If I went up to my friend and said, "You know better," wouldn't my friend say,
"You don't have the right to do that. You don't have the right to play heaven"?
Karen, let me finish, Karen. If I went up to my friend and we both agreed that we're not in control, and I told my friend, "Don't you know better?" Shouldn't my friend then respond to me saying, "Yeah, but I'm not in control. Why are you accusing me?"
But first of all, back up. You're not in a position where you could go up to your friend and say, "Hey, you know better." You're not God. You're not heaven.
Sorry, maybe the example was
your friend needs to go through what your friend going through.
Fair enough.
Allow
that's not what I'm
dark
getting.
and the light.
That's not the point here.
Correct it.
You're right about what you're saying. That's not the point here. Maybe the example was not good. We'll keep it with heaven. Why would heaven be talking to you as if you had free will? Because if
heaven is not talking to you, heaven is correcting you.
Okay, but you're telling me that heaven is telling you that you should know better. But if heaven knew that you had no free will, then heaven would never tell you you should know better.
Ray. You have to be corrected.
No. That's not. But why would it correct you in that way? That you know better. That sounds like an accusation.
Yeah,
obviously you know better. Obviously you know better, but you can't control yourself.
That's the way I put it. Yeah, just don't misconstrue words and stuff. That's the way I put it. Other people will put it a different way. Heaven will come and correct your evil, and if
absolutely
your spirit is not of good, I believe you will not be corrected. A lot of people will fall short. They will not see the glory within themselves while they're in flesh on this earth, not when their flesh is dead and gone and they're still living spirit in either hell or either in heaven.
I see what you're saying,
A lot
Karen.
of people is not going to say it. They're not going to see it. They're not going to think it, feel it, know it, ever. We got to feel... I'm not trying to sound like I know.
You're saying things that are true, right? But I was just trying to get at to what we know.
I know what you're doing. I know what you're doing.
I just like to talk about things that we know, baby. Not things that are like. Yeah, I appreciate your call, Karen. I appreciate.
I understand what you're saying. You make me realize some stuff.
Yeah, me too.
You got to understand the way I'm coming from too, especially as a woman, and that's why I started off with experiences and the environment that I've been through as I grew up. That made me go into a fallen state.
I don't know if this is. I don't know if this has been clear, Karen, but maybe it's not. But I've totally enjoyed this call. Thank you, by the way.
I enjoy your call too.
I was
sitting here for like 2 hours, like I'm about to call Nick. And then I also wanted to know if you could take your shirt off, but don't do
Lord,
it.
Somebody stop Karen. We need TSA. Somebody. Where's the air marshal? Where's the air marshal on this plane?
And don't tell Nick. I wanted to tell you this too. You are the most handsome, the most smartest one.
Stop.
Out of all of them. Don't tell hate. Don't tell hate.
No, stop. Stop with all the compliments. Karen,
sincerely know you're
You want to
supportive.
keep. You want to keep it rolling. You want to keep it rolling. I understand.
I'll keep it rolling. I sincerely know that you support me
Please
and us.
don't cry.
And I love
I'm on the
this
plane.
conversation. Sincerely.
I'm on a plane. I got a waitress cocktail uniform on, and anybody wants some drinks, just let me know, and you can use your imagination.
We got Karen. Ladies and gentlemen. Always a pleasure, Karen.
All right. Thank you, Nick. You have a good one.
Call
Bless
me
you.
again. Ooh, sorry. Yeah, no. I really, I don't know if you guys saw. I found that very interesting. Maybe I'm just focusing on words. Maybe I'm just nitpicking on words. I thought I saw something. I thought I sussed something out there. Either way, I enjoyed it, Karen. I do appreciate your call. I thought there was something there. Didn't you guys see it? Didn't you see it? Okay, where are we? You know what? I was gonna show you this Niger ambush video. Let's just jump into it. So, 2017, American forces ambushed in a village outside of Niger. I love this video.
At 11:35,
It's very. I love a good military, I don't know, drama story.
At 11:35 hours, the team moved out of the village of Tongo Tongo on their planned route. Approximately 100 meters outside of the village, enemy forces attacked the team with small arms fire directed at the rear of the convoy.
So the ones in blue is U.S. cars, and the ones in green are Niger armed forces that were in a convoy along with the U.S. armed forces.
Enemy fire
2 hours later, we finally get to the Niger clip.
was initially light, then intensified as they advanced through the woods on the team's position. At this point, the convoy halted. The team reported enemy contact to the advanced operating base. U.S. Vehicle 1 and U.S. Vehicle 3 immediately began returning fire with their mounted M240 machine guns, while team personnel exited vehicles, donned personal protective equipment, and returned small arms fire.
Oh, wait, what's that? Oh, we're good. Plane's fine.
The team commander and 4 Nigerian soldiers maneuvered on foot to the southeast to flank what was estimated to be a small enemy force. At this time, the
There's footage of this. One moment we're about to get to, there's footage of it. And it's like gut-wrenching.
Nigerian, AOB, and 𝒔𝒐 commanders began sending response elements to the team's location. The team sergeant moved forward with U.S. Vehicle 3 to better control the unit and to coordinate machine gun fire with U.S. Vehicle 1. Staff Sergeant Jeremiah Johnson moved from U.S. Vehicle 3 back to near U.S. Vehicle 2, intending to fire an AT-4 anti-tank rocket at the enemy toward the north. The investigation determined that Niger Vehicle 5 departed the ambush site during this period, but did not determine precisely when or by what route.
You're about to see the Niger. See, he says Niger. You heard that? Did he say Niger?
But did not determine Vehicle 5 at the enemy toward the north. The investigation determined that Niger...
See? He says Niger. See, I'm not crazy. They do. Some people say Niger. Niger. Okay, you're about to see the Niger armed forces just coward, tuck tail and run, and only the U.S. forces remain.
Vehicle 5 departed the ambush site during this period, but did not determine precisely when or by what route. The commander's flanking element continued their movement until a body of water prevented them from advancing further.
So they set out a little detail. Commander with some Niger armed forces, they are going to recon and make contact with the unknown size. At this point, the size of the force that they're receiving small arms fire from is unknown.
They identified and engaged enemy fighters across the body of water. The team commander observed a larger than expected enemy force moving to his east.
It's like, that's a oh crap moment. That is a oh crap moment. You're looking across, you're expecting small arms, and then it's vehicles mounted
mounted guns, mortars,
which consisted of motorcycles and vehicles with mounted heavy machine guns. The flanking element returned to the halted convoy at 11:57 hours and issued the order to move south to prevent being outflanked by enemy forces.
So you see that, right? They're making this flanking movement. This force that has been advancing on them flanks them out. It's over for them, okay?
The movement was not immediate, as the team commander and team sergeant had to rally and recover Nigerian forces who had taken cover in the woods.
The coward Nigerian forces were covering in the woods.
Sergeant had to rally and recover Nigerian forces who had taken cover in the woods. Niger vehicles 3 and 4 were immobilized and abandoned. Niger vehicles 1 and 2 were the first to depart. As the rest of the team loaded into their vehicles, they saw Staff Sergeants Brian Black, Jeremiah Johnson, and Dustin Wright in the vicinity of U.S. Vehicle 2.
This is where it gets
spicy. The team commander signaled to begin movement, and Staff Sergeant Jeremiah Johnson acknowledged the order with a thumbs up. A team member threw a smoke grenade to conceal the team's movement. Staff Sergeant Dustin Wright entered U.S. Vehicle 2 and began driving it slowly forward.
This is where it gets spicy and everybody gets separated.
While Staff Sergeants Brian Black and Jeremiah Johnson walked along the protected side of the vehicle. Staff Sergeant Brian Black moved slightly ahead of U.S. Vehicle 2 and was killed by enemy small arms fire. Staff Sergeant Dustin Wright stopped and exited the vehicle. Staff Sergeants Jeremiah Johnson and Dustin Wright remained with Staff Sergeant Brian Black until overwhelming enemy fire forced them to withdraw. 85 meters southwest of U.S. Vehicle 2, Staff Sergeant Jeremiah Johnson was shot and rendered immobile. Staff Sergeant Dustin Wright stopped, returned to near his teammate's position, and continued to engage the enemy until both were fatally wounded.
I mean, he could have left. He could have left. But I guess, you know, you're taking cover behind the vehicle. You look around, your buddies are gone. You're like, we got to get out of here. You're taking crazy fire to the point you can't even get back in your car. You got to hoof it on foot, oncoming fire, oncoming enemy forces. It's just two of you now. One goes down. What do you do? I mean, I guess his compatriot here turned around and fought until he died too.
And continued to engage the enemy until both were fatally wounded.
This is all green screen, bruh. Never happened. Okay.
Released video.
This is the actual footage.
A warning
of that situation.
Parts of this are
or at least some footage.
They were. A helmet camera warned.
Okay, wait. There's probably better footage. There's like footage of that. I think the full video, I've seen it. It's because the way this story ends is well, I'll show you later. There's footage of the end though. It's really violent. There's no sound to this? What the?
Their loved ones via text message. Fire from a well for their lives on themselves. The tragic events in which the Green Berets fought for their lives on their own became known as the deadly Tongo Tongo ambush. As soon as the convoy left the village, the rear vehicles came under enemy fire from a well-prepared ambush. The fire was sporadic at first, but became stronger as they reached a small forest. To counter the enemy, the soldiers halted and
these are the Niger coward trucks.
Dismounted under covering fire. The team leader of the Green Berets then formed a squad with 4 Nigerian soldiers and engaged the enemy forces, neutralizing 4 insurgents. Once the threat was eliminated, however, they noticed something far more concerning. The gunmen they had just engaged were only the tip of the enemy forces. Behind them, nearly 100 more enemies were advancing on motorcycles and pickup trucks, equipped with machine guns, mortars, and other heavy weapons. The team leader, recognizing the danger, ran back to the convoy and ordered his soldiers to withdraw as quickly as possible. However, since most of the forces were spread out, the evasion was delayed and uncoordinated. Therefore, 3 Green Berets, who had previously covered the withdrawal of their comrades, suddenly found themselves alone on the battlefield. They were Brian Black, Jeremiah Johnson, and Dustin Wright. The 3 special forces now faced nearly 100 enemies and had no heavy weapons or air support available.
No, there's no point, Show Sugino. Just some war stuff we were getting into earlier, and some videos I remember that were cool.
Following the principle of fire and move, they tried to disengage from the enemy, but the IS fighters were too fast and too many. Despite the Green Berets' accurate defensive fire, they were getting closer and closer. Every yard gained allowed the enemy to engage the special forces even more effectively. Brian Black was the first soldier to be hit as he ran alongside the rolling vehicle to provide covering fire for his comrades.
There's video of that too, and it's like
died.
It is so much blood. I mean, sometimes you just don't think the human body has that much blood in them. It's really violent, the full video. Okay. We got to switch gears here, though. We got to get ready for this landing here. So give me a second. I'll be right with you. As we switch gears here and get this landing going. Give me a sec. I'll be right back. Coming in for that landing real soon, y'all. Runways before us, y'all. Throttle off. I can't see. Ladies and gentlemen, soul plane landing. Maybe a little bit. Maybe a little bit of soul plane landing. Oh no, 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 no. No, 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 no. No. a go around. No. Ladies and gentlemen, you know, when you got calls going, and you got all this other stuff going, it's not always the easiest thing to get everything going right for the landing. Where's that pesky runway? Okay, throttle off, gear down. Why am I going so fast? Speed brakes all the way up. Trump Force One, ladies and gentlemen. The local time is Miami local time is 10:49 p.m. I got super chats. Karen Williams, thank you for that. Says, "Oh, Nikki, you so fine. You so fine. You blow my mind." The deep state finally got... No. Don't say that, Steve. Take that back. Hold up. Hold up. Hold up. So anyways, yeah, I hope your flight's going well. Because we're about to land. Hope everything's going well. This flight's been amazing for you. No hiccups, nothing wrong. Nothing has ever gone bad on this flight so far. So I'm glad this whole flight has gone with no hiccups and no problems at all. It's been a pleasure. This is your captain speaking, the American Anchor Baby. We'll be landing shortly, ladies and gentlemen. Are you feeling a little off, like you just woke up from a weird dream? That's okay. You were just inoculated with our dream state. It's complimentary, okay? Don't worry about it. Calm down, y'all. Quick load is one of the most important safety features on an aircraft. We got Trump on board. We'll be landing shortly here. Oh man. odd controls again. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're coming in smoothly. What is this playing right now?
Love the flow.
What the heck was that?
69. Now it's time for new, believable people, and we must do it. If we don't control insiders, this will be over and over. To lead by an any big fat love, find common ground to halt the spread of lies.
Yeah, this is a lot nicer. This is a much nicer approach.
To halt the spread of lies and any America first, America first, non-fatal. We want to build a much better, believable people, and we must do it non-fatal. Communication very much higher. America first. To lead by an any insiders fighting for insiders.
Oh yeah.
Time to stop. Insiders fighting for insiders. More of insiders fighting for insiders. Time to stop.
No more insiders fighting for insiders.
America first. Love the flow. 69. Now it's time for new, believable people, and we must do it. If we don't control insiders, this will be
Speed brakes
over
on.
and over. To lead by an any big fat love, find common ground to halt the spread of lies, and we must do it big fat love, find common ground to
All right,
halt
y'all.
the spread of lies.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've landed safely in West Palm Beach International Airport. The local time is 10:55 p.m., ladies and gentlemen. Make sure when you are going to those overhead compartments, you are careful as they may have shifted during the course of our trip here. Make sure you are nice to the lovely flight attendants on your way out. And if you have any questions about your connecting flights, make sure you feel free to ask. There's many computer terminals and phone apps and this and that. You'll make your way. Ladies and gentlemen, you have many options in flying, but we continue. We thank you for your continued patronage here on Anchor Baby Airlines. A special flight today, Trump Force One with the president. We got him out safely. Okay, I don't care what, nobody better slander Anchor Baby Airlines here. We got the president's safety all the way from Georgia out of that mess. We've arrived in Florida. He will be off to Mar-a-Lago and to the HQ. And you know what else? And at the end of it all, a good night's sleep too, huh? For the man. It's been a long day. And it's been a nice flight. I hope you guys enjoyed the show today, enjoyed the calls, enjoyed the topics and whatever we got into. We got plenty more for the future. More stuff coming. You guys rock. Thanks for supporting the show, supporting the flights, supporting American Anchor Baby and the network. I feel like it's happening. I'm here for it. You guys rock. I'm glad you didn't wreck. We have to save America. Thank you, Zeus. We never wrecked. Best airline in the world. It's the best airline in the world. The best. Okay. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Boy with no face. Steven Show. Matthew Zeus. Imperfect. Booty War. Karen Williams. Of course. Go Biscuit. Sugar Pancake Face. Man. Doom Jesus. How you been? There you are. Go Biscuit. What's up, Rome? Imperfect Citizen. Carver. Of course, Carver. Matthew. Man, everybody. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy the rest of your Friday. Enjoy your weekend. Catch you guys on Sunday for church. And what else? No, you rock, Karen. Thank you. And what else? We'll be back Monday. We'll be back Sunday. Again. Stop it, Ivana. That's almost slanderous. All right, y'all. I'll sign out.
I'll sign out here, y'all. It's been a pleasure as always. Catch you guys Sunday, Monday, and beyond. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Peace.
Take what you want. Take everything. Take what you want. Take what you want. Better that I change my number so you can explain. Balance in the night. Balance in the night. Price. Do you have any price? Well, that one time, I'll be honest. I'll be honest. We all liars. Let it go. I'll be honest. We all liars. I'll be honest. We all liars. I'm pulled over and I got priors. Guess we going down. Guess who's going to jail? Guess who's going to jail tonight? Guess who's going to jail tonight? Guess who's going to jail tonight? Gotta go post my bill tonight. Don't you curse at me, oh,